नमस्कार नमस्कार नमस्कार। मेरा नाम है राजीव कुमार बजाज JNRKB और मैं हूं इस वक्त एडवोकेट प्रदीप नंबियार जी के साथ। प्रदीप जी नमस्कार।
नमस्कार सर, नमस्कार।
और हम दोनों हैं इस वक्त कहाँ? नेशन नाउ पर। और नेशन नाउ हमेशा आपके साथ है और हमेशा ही आपके साथ रहेगा। आप सबको प्रदीप जी और मेरी तरफ से जय हिंद, जय महाराष्ट्र, जय भवानी, जय शिवाजी, वंदे मातरम।
वंदे मातरम।
प्रदीप जी, तो वर्ल्ड कप हार गए।
बिल्कुल हार गए सर।
और पूरे देश में मातम छा गया, लोगों का दिल टूट गया।
यस यस।
और दूसरी तरफ क्या है कि एक बहुत बड़ी स्टोरी अभी एक अनफोल्ड हो रही है, उसके बारे में कोई बात नहीं कर रहा है। आई होप पीपल स्टार्ट टॉकिंग अबाउट इट।
Yes.
व्हिच ऑफ कोर्स इज दैट 41 माइनर्स ट्रैप्ड इनसाइड
बिल्कुल
in Uttarakhand in that
यस
tunnel.
यस।
I hope we will be able to rescue them because they are running out of food and water and even air, from whatever I know. I really and truly hope we'll be able to do that. Do we have Mr. Daruwala with us? I believe we have Mr. Ali Daruwala from Pune. Is Mr. Daruwala with us?
Okay.
All right. Mr. Daruwala, very good evening, sir.
Good evening, Rajiv sir, Advocate Pradeep sir. Good evening.
Sir, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, happy birthday.
Happy
Thank
birthday
you,
to you,
Pradeep
sir.
sir.
Happy birthday. जन्मदिन की
Thank
बहुत
you,
बहुत
Pradeep sir.
मुबारकबाद.
Thank you, Rajiv sir. Thank you so much.
Wonderful, absolutely wonderful. And I wanted to start with, actually, you know, I wanted to start usually as we always do with a political subject. Can you hear me, sir?
110. Yes, you're clear, sir.
Okay, I wanted to start with the political subject, but I tell you what, I think we should take a look at what the Prime Minister
विशाल बाबा का
did.
फोन आ रहा है.
Can we go ahead, sir? Mr. Daruwala, I think you put it on mute, sir.
No, I'm there with you, sir.
Okay,
Yeah,
fine.
he's there with us.
Now you're there. Now you're there. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We can hear you. Daruwala Sahab, let's start with what the Prime Minister did after the World Cup. Let's take a look at how we met the players in the green room and how we consoled them and how we told them how proud the country is. कि मतलब कितना गर्वान्वित है पूरा भारत आज हमारी क्रिकेट टीम के ऊपर। काफ़ी बच्चे रो रहे थे, रोहित शर्मा साहब आंखों में आंसू थे, विराट कोहली उनकी भी आंखें नम थीं और मोहम्मद शामी तो मतलब फूट फूट के रो पड़े। इनफैक्ट नरेंद्र मोदी साहब ने उनको गले लगाया। लेट्स टेक अ लुक, आई थिंक वी हैव दैट फुटेज। लेट्स टेक अ लुक एट दैट फुटेज एंड देन वील स्टार्ट आवर शो, बिकॉज दिस रियली shows the kind of man Mr. Modi is. This will really show you the caring, kind, great man that Narendra Modi is. Let's take a look.
आप लोग पूरा 10-10 गेम जीत के आए हो, ये तो होता रहता है। मुस्कुराइए भाई, देश आप लोगों को देख रहा है। मैंने सोचा मिल लूँगा सबको। होता है। कहाँ राहुल, कहते हैं आप लोग मेहनत बहुत की है, लेकिन कहाँ बाबू खेलो ना पड़ दो। हमें बहुत अच्छा किया है इस बार। तो गुजराती बोलते हो इसने थोड़ा थोड़ा तर तो घर से तो आप लोग बहुत अच्छी मेहनत की है। चलिए, होता है। होता रहता है ऐसा। हाँ। और साथियों को एक दूसरे को जरा हौसला बुलंद करते चलिए। और जब आप लोग फ्री हो गए, कभी दिल्ली आएंगे तो बैठूंगा आप लोगों के साथ।
Isn't that lovely?
Fantastic. There is no greater example.
Just look at
Yeah,
that.
That's it. There is no greater example of a prime minister motivating his own people.
Yes, and giving them courage.
Yes.
Because they were all so depressed, all of them.
Bilkul, sir.
Amazing, absolutely amazing. Absolutely, completely amazing. Brilliant, bloody brilliant. I mean, no other prime minister has done this.
Exactly.
Look at that.
But he was always like this. Remember the rocket ISRO
Yes.
mission that failed?
Chandrayaan 2.
Chandrayaan 2. He took this and this is my loss, not yours.
Yes. Mr. Sivan. I think.
Yes. This is my loss, not yours. You have done your job well. And that's what Prime Minister Modi has been doing it everywhere. He said, you give your best. I am responsible for the loss.
Yes. But look at that, yeah. Because these boys, one can understand they must be feeling like the pits.
Yes.
They must be feeling terrible after having won 10 matches in a row. And now for the Prime Minister to do this. I have never seen a Prime Minister actually do this after a team has lost. दारूवाला साहब आपको याद है क्या? मुझे याद नहीं आता कि किसी और प्रधानमंत्री ने कभी किसी टीम का इस तरीके से हौसला अफजाई की हो लूजिंग बात. एक और आपको याद होगा टोक्यो ओलंपिक्स में हमारी लड़कियां जो हैं वो ब्रॉन्ज मेडल से रह गई थी. At the last minute, I think England scored and we were not able to get a medal. So, I remember Modi ji called up everybody, spoke to them on the speakerphone and said, I am with you, the whole country is with you, we are all very proud of what you've done.
Yes, I have witnessed it, sir.
Amazing. So, Daruwala Sahab, what do you have to say to this?
Sir, in simple nutshell, if I can characterize the man, our Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he treats us like his family. The players, you, me, the citizens of this country are his children, and he says, I live, I work for this country which is my family, and he has no ambition. He is such a simple, down to earth person. He has come here only to serve the nation, and he has got no ambition, no financial dreams to fulfill. And he is just living, each day he lives, and this inspiration he gets from the happiness he sees on your and my face and on the citizens of this country. As I've always told you, this man is really a blessing to this country. Not to this country, I always go one step ahead and I always keep saying that he is a world leader and not only our leader. We look at him on the platform where he will lead this world to peace. As I always said, Vasudeva Kutumbakam. Means he is taking this world to a very peaceful platform, and it's really amusing as to why the Nobel Peace Prize has not yet been conferred upon him.
I don't think he needs it, to be very frank with you. Where you have people like Barack Obama and Henry Kissinger having been given the Nobel Peace Prize. I mean, come on, Henry Kissinger, the man who was responsible for Agent Orange and the man who was responsible for the killing of over 1.5 million Vietnamese. Come on, Daruwala Sahab, I expect better from you. But I tell you what, अभी recently, आज ही सुबह राजस्थान में बोलते हुए राहुल गांधी साहब ने नरेंद्र मोदी जी को पनवती बुलाया. ये वर्ल्ड कप का मैच डिस्कस कर रहे थे तो उनका देखिए साहब फाइनल में मोदी जी आ गए और उन्होंने लाइव बैठ करके वहां पे देखा तो किसी ऑडियंस में से किसी ने जोर से बोला पनवती. वो कहता है बिल्कुल पनवती प्राइम मिनिस्टर, मतलब आप पनवती मोदी. यार मुझे आप ये बताइए, अरे भाई आपके प्रधानमंत्री हैं, बाकी सब चीज छोड़ दीजिए, मेरे और आपके प्रधानमंत्री हैं. इस किस्म की भाषा प्रधानमंत्री के लिए कैसे इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं सर? दारुवाला साहब,
this only shows I would see I'm using very guarded word against Rahul Gandhi sir. Really I always tell you on your show, I forgive this man for his proximity of his brains and how he uses it. Sir, if he is mocking my Prime Minister and for the team for losing this, I feel he has indirectly disgraced and insulted the players. Just by someone's presence, no one wins, and by someone's absence, nobody loses the match, sir. It is really his shortcoming in his intelligence that he's used such a word, and I feel that we all should forgive him and we can know where he's coming, where this knowledge is coming from. And really all this words that I say, I always keep telling on each show of yours, the more Rahul Gandhi is speaking is only helping us, and God save this man and God save all of us so that we do not fall.
I think this is one more खून की खेती और क्या मौत का सौदागर मोमेंट, मुझको ऐसा लग रहा है सर, जो सोनिया जी ने कहा था ना गुजरात में मोदी जी के लिए, मौत का सौदागर, खून की खेती और ना जाने क्या कुछ, मुझे लग रहा है this is one more such moment. In fact, all he needed to do was keep his mouth shut and just maybe talk about the economy.
Yeah. On a lighter note, Rajiv sir and Pradeep sir, I feel that the amount the Gandhi family mocks my Prime Minister, it makes him stronger and takes him to another level. Khoon ka saudagar and maut ki kheti, and we see he became the Prime Minister. And now calling him Panoti, I feel this 2024 will be a runaway success. I think
Sir,
there
आप तो
is
400
blessing
बोल
in
रहे हो
disguise.
सर, आपने तो 350 और 400 बोला ही है इसी शो पे. You have said 400 seats.
Yeah. I'm तो saying sir, मोदी जी को ये इनका जो है इनका ट्रोलिंग एक डिस्गाइज, ब्लेसिंग इन डिस्गाइज है सर. मैं तो कहता हूँ कि ये ट्रोल करते रहे और मोदी जी आगे उन्नति और तरक्की करते रहे.
बट यू नो दरबार साहब, यहाँ पर उन्होंने आज सेंसिबल बात किया थोड़ा. Rahul Gandhi ji says that Rajasthan gives you the cheapest gas cylinder in the entire country. Rajasthan is giving you. और अगर बीजेपी यहाँ पर आता है तो आपका गैस सिलेंडर चला जाएगा, आपका ओल्ड पेंशन स्कीम जो हम लागू करने वाले वो चलाएंगे. यू नो वुमन पर फैमिली इज गेटिंग 10,000 रुपीज, वो जाएगा. गोबर 2 रुपये किलो हम लोग खरीद रहे हैं आपसे, वो चला जाएगा. स्टूडेंट्स को हम लैपटॉप देने वाले, वो चलाएगा. हम लोग इंग्लिश स्कूल, मीडियम स्कूल्स आपके लिए बना रहे, वो. तो राहुल गांधी is scaring the people of Rajasthan. Look, the good things that we have given you, all this will be destroyed by the BJP if it comes to power. That is what Rahul Gandhi is telling. Daruwala sahab.
Correct, sir. I have been so glad Rahul Gandhi has given the list of things that the people will lose when BJP comes to power. Means he has listed what all stupidity, what drama, what banana republic this government is running. 500 रुपए गैस, 900 रुपए कहाँ से उन्होंने सब्सिडी लाया, 2 रुपए में वो लोग अनाज यहाँ पे लोगों को दे रहे, प्रोक्योरमेंट गवर्नमेंट को कितना लॉस में डाल रहे. He has gone on record. I am telling you all this. He has spelled out the banana republic state that he is running. Where is he bringing the funding? This means ये गवर्नमेंट लाने के लिए, देश को बेचने के लिए भी ये लोग पीछे नहीं हटेंगे. एंड आई एम टेलिंग यू सर, वी विल नॉट गिव चीप गैस, वी विल नॉट गिव फ्री का अनाज, मुफ्त का अनाज. जो उसका वाजबी दर है, जो गरीबों का हक है, 80 करोड़ का जो उनको फ्री का अनाज मिलता, वो हम देते रहेंगे. मगर द 20% हु कैन अफोर्ड विल हैव टू बाय एट द मार्केट प्राइस. एंड दिस लैपटॉप, ये वो सर, ये झूठा आश्वासन हम नहीं देते. भारतीय जनता पार्टी अपनी कार्यक्षमता, अपने 52-53 फ्लैगशिप प्रोग्राम, देश की उन्नति और 5 लाख ट्रिलियन इकोनॉमी के विश्वास के दम पे हम राजस्थान में, मध्य प्रदेश और छत्तीसगढ़ में हम हमारी सत्ता वापस लाएंगे सर.
You know, Amit Shah again is reiterated, I mean, we discussed this earlier also, that they are going to revoke religion-based quota. The religion-based quota that is existing now in the non-BJP governments, Amit Shah says we are going to revoke it once we come to power, wherever we come to power, Telangana, wherever. And Rahul Gandhi's countercharge, बोले कि you are talking about caste. When I talk about caste, Prime Minister says the biggest, सबसे बड़ा तबका जो है गरीबों का तबका, मैं उसके लिए काम करता हूँ. और फिर अचानक प्राइम मिनिस्टर बोलते हैं कि मैं ओबीसी हूँ, आई एम द ओबीसी प्राइम मिनिस्टर. तो जब you are dividing, Rahul Gandhi is accusing you sir that you are dividing everybody based on caste, but when you have to give benefits, you don't give it to the OBCs. OBCs को आप benefit देते नहीं हो. दारूवाला साहब.
Exactly, sir. What Amit Shah says, I endorse it and I thump on what he says. ये कोटा, ये रिजर्वेशन, ये सब देश को पीछे ले जाने वाली स्कीम्स है. देश किसी के ये सब चीज देके उन्नति नहीं कर सकता. To bring the best people, we need to give them a free hand, and the free hand can only come with distinction. आप देखो, I am not against reservation. We needed it when the country was new. It was newly born. Congress must have come up with that thing. Honorable Baba Sahib Ambedkar ji came up with this 10, 20 years. It has still continued. But I feel in a country in the 21st century, when we are going towards the top 5 economies of the country, you cannot ask for reservation. You cannot ask that please call yourself backward to get a few fringe benefits. This is totally not done. Amit Shah had the steel, he had the fist, he had the guts to say on a public platform कि अगर हम power में आते हैं तो ये reservation, ये quota system, we will undo with all this. This man really, I really salute Amit Shah sir.
In Maharashtra here, the peak Vima that your government promised, they have started the payment. That is what Eknath Shinde ji, Dev Fadnavis, and Dev Fadnavis always talks this particular scheme, Rupee 1 peak Vima, as one of the very good schemes that the farmer enjoys, and the farmer has insurance to his crops, and you have started delivering it. That's what Eknath Shinde, Devendra Fadnavis is saying, that our promise to thee. And the Congress has always been saying that हम लोग को पूरे डिस्ट्रिक्ट ढूंढा, पीक बीमे का ऑफिस हम लोग को डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स में नहीं मिले, जो प्रोसीजर है किसान वो प्रोसीजर फुलफिल नहीं कर पाते, ऑनलाइन फॉर्म्स भरना, अर्जी भरना, अभी तो एज एकनाथ शिंदे देव फडणवीस से 47,63,000 नुकसान भरपाई आज अर्ज अप्रूव्ड है. नाउ दैट्स अ वेरी ह्यूज अमाउंट ऑफ एप्लीकेशंस रिसीव्ड एंड सैंक्शन्ड. दारूवाला साहब, so the Congress charge doesn't fall flat that in many of the districts you can't find the insurance offices at all. दारूवाला साहब.
Yes, sir. ₹1 में peak Bima Yojana was a runaway success. Our government went ahead successfully. We have implemented. Farmers have registered. I do agree that the uploading the reimbursement is a tedious process. The government has set up offices. The collectorate is helping the farmers in case where there has been a destruction of crops. Farmers have got back. The ₹1 is a symbolic token where they come forward with all their appropriate documents. This eliminates fake farmers, fake people who try to seek relief. So this ₹1 peak Bima, we come and we want you to release, and your papers are in line. I can assure you the leading insurance agencies have been given and entrusted with the job of giving insurance policies and insurance reimbursement to farmers, and they are getting it. It is just what you say, like you say, this Congress बोलते हैं बगैर हड्डी की ज़बान है इनकी. They just do it. Have we gone and taken the feedback from the farmers on the ground? There has really been no catastrophe, no disaster, and like what we said, like the benefit transfer, when we came to power in the Devendra Fadnavis government, so without blowing our trumpets, we gave loan waivers, and the loan waivers were directly transferred into the farmers' account, and they all appreciated. And because of that, we came with a runaway success of 105, 109 MLAs and 56, 54 with the Shiv Sena. We came with super majority. It is because of the flagship programs, the announcement, and what we delivered. And this peak Bima is also a runaway success. Farmers do not have to go and stand at the collector office and do morchas and beg that my crop is destroyed, please give me money. Their papers are in order, they will get their reimbursement, sir.
But Mr. Daruwala, the problem that is occurring is that wherever there is a complication, for instance, the crop has failed. Like for example, as you know, in Marathwada, the rains failed this time. In fact, there was about 30 to 40% less rainfall. As a result of which, the Rabi crop, the sowing of the Rabi crop, it has been just about 30% of what it was supposed to be, and the effect of that, unless and until we take steps right now, will be disastrous next year, when the Rabi harvest begins around April 13 or so. But that's a separate issue. The issue is right now, earlier the middle crop has also failed, because Kharif crop or Rabi crop ke beech mein jo middle crop hoti hai, as you know, soybean, vegetables, other things, they have also failed. So as a result of which, what has happened is, there are lots and lots of farmers who have genuinely complained that very unfortunately, they are not getting a direct bank transfer as they were promised. And when they are not getting a direct bank transfer, they don't know where to go, because their papers don't even show the address of the so-called insurance company. Now this is something that the government has to look at. There is a procedural problem here, because what had happened was, I think an algorithm was created wherein without human intervention, as far as is possible, people would get whatever was entitled to them directly into their accounts to ensure that there would be no bribery, there would be no extortion, there would be no
after
middlemen.
the Panchanama. Yeah.
Yes, there will be no middlemen, etc. No, sir, I must praise this government. In fact, there is no need for a Panchanama also. Incidentally, the first claim you get 30% anyway, even without a Panchanama. The problem occurs when, if suppose there is a difference in signature in some part of the form or somewhere else, now the farmer doesn't know whom to go to. Because अब वो पूना के अंदर where you are, वो जो इंश्योरेंस कंपनी का नाम है वैसी इंश्योरेंस कंपनी कोई है ही नहीं पूरे पुणे में. मतलब आप घूमते रहिए, किस बैंक में जाएं, कहाँ जाएं, even the bank manager doesn't know because he was getting it directly from the center. And when they go on to the center's website with regard to this insurance, all the applications are bouncing back. Now this is a serious issue which I think the government must look at, Mr.
Yes,
Daruwala.
Yes, sir. Sanjeev sir, as you know, if anything is brought to our notice, we take it very seriously. And I can assure you on your channel, if there's any lacuna and any loophole in this, as you said, these insurance companies do not exist and people have
they exist.
grievances.
They exist.
Yeah, so
they
definitely.
exist, but people don't know where to find them. The insurance companies exist, but people don't know where to find them. That is the problem.
Correct, sir. Correct. I will assure you on your platform, sir. I will activate our office, the agriculture department, as to look into this and to immediately run down and get those farmers, collect them, get the information, and try and help them. Because the program that we had suspended in the last week, we are relaunching it, Shasan Apne Dari, the government at your doorsteps, and this will be the priority in the agenda. As you said, in the Marathwada region where the crops have failed, Shasan Apne Dari, which is a program, which is a flagship program in Maharashtra, I will see to it that this is implemented and this is taken up on priority, sir.
Right. You know, Daruwala Sahab, second thing that Nana Patoli ji has been accusing you. Nana Patoli, the Congress leader, says the youth of Maharashtra are unemployed. Nana Patoli, the youth of Maharashtra are unemployed, and now to destroy the future of youth, the Maharashtra government is closing down Zilla Parishad schools. You're closing down, shutting down Zilla Parishad schools for whatever this is privatization of schools. But when it is going to happen, he has declared that you want to sell now the schools off which you are supposed to run. Now what happens to the entire RTE and right to education and all these kinds of things which is guaranteed by the constitution, by the country? Now if you shut down Zilla Parishad schools, number one, youth are employed, now youth will be without education. Now this is a very serious charge that Nana Patoli has done on you, on the BJP. Daruwala Sahab.
Yes, sir. Answering back to Nana Patole, sir, that in Maharashtra, Zilla Parishad schools are no more required. Farmers, the poorest of poorest person likes to give its child the best education. Like in good old days, they used to say that the government education, the bureaucracy that we had, they studied under the light in the government schools because we did not have good private schools. In the good private schools, they are taking over the Zilla Parishad, the corporation-run schools, and they are making them at par with the private schools which are running, and it has been run by very sophisticated, knowledgeable people. And as to far as RTI is there, it has not been scrapped. Right to education is existing. Children are going and they are getting admission. Sir, to put the record right, we run an international school and we have a certain section, certain amount of seats reserved for RTI. It is an international school. At the same time, we do take students from the RTI, recommended by the government. They are sitting with their bags on the same bench with the haves and the have-nots, and they are getting the same education. To set the record right, what Nana Patoli ji has said, we are refuting. Yes, we are giving this public-run schools to professional people who are running it and who are running it under the government norms and conditions, sir.
So which means what? Does it mean that these new schools will have a different fee structure? The people will have to pay more money? What?
No, nothing, sir. They are shutting down. You will be surprised. In the Congress regime, 70,000 corporation-run schools had shut down. with this government which was running for 2.5 years, 70,000 government-run PMC schools shut down. There were no takers, there were no students, the properties were lying vacant, they became breeding ground for illicit activities. Those properties have been picked up, they have been given to professional people, wherever they have come forward, they have been given, and the same school have been refurbished, restructured, and you can see big banners, big boards, and really beautiful schools coming up over here. So tell me if I'm doing something wrong. We need to give the best education, and if I can give it for free of cost, there's nothing wrong in it, sir.
So in effect, this Zilla Parishad schools closing down is a red herring. Is that what you're saying?
Sir, they are shutting down not because of not being run. The teachers are there, the funding is there, students are not reporting. Students do not want to go to this public-run schools because they feel their standard of education is not as per the mark. But if the same school with the same infra and teachers given to professional hand, they are doing better, and we
so
have better results.
how has the Aam Aadmi Party managed it in Delhi? I was reading an article in the Washington Post as to how the schools have been transformed.
100%. The model what the Aam Aadmi Party did in Delhi is really remarkable. It has been appreciated. I too appreciate it, sir. If we need to learn from somewhere, we need to take something from somewhere, we will do it. We are just a year-old government in Maharashtra. We will take it and we will try to implement it, and giving education to the youth of this country is of utmost priority. If I need to travel, if I need to learn something, no matter who it is, if I need to go, I will go, we will pick it up, and we will try to implement it, and we will
and
try
also,
to
let me give you another piece of information, because our boys in Punjab, earlier the border area schools, especially in the border districts of Punjab, Faridkot, Firozpur, Gurdaspur, Amritsar, these are the 4 border districts of Punjab. The schools were in a very bad state. For the first time, we have seen spanking new buildings, sparkling new buildings, teachers have been trained abroad, a lot of these people have come in over there. The Bhagwant Mann government seems to be doing quite well, especially where students are concerned, the primary school education.
Yes,
and that's where, by the way, that's a subject for another day. I can see Pradeep ji smiling inside, because that's a subject very, very close to my heart. That whereas Pandit Nehru built all IITs and IIMs and Indian Institute of Science, of course that was built by started by Dr. C.V. Raman way back, even before independence. It started in 1936. But he neglected primary education, which is the most important area. The backbone was neglected by Pandit Nehru. So we need really and truly if we need to transform this country, we need to transform primary education. So I think that should be a priority of every government.
Yes, sir.
So when are we going to do that in Maharashtra?
Sir, this is the first step we have taken. It is a trial and error basis, sir. The schools which are shut down, corporation schools which have turned into a khandar, we are trying to rope in professionals to do it. There are NGOs, there is a certain sections in the non-profit making organizations who are taking the lead, and we are trying. As you said, primary education is a must. Children in their basics need to go to school, get the elementary right. Till 10th standard education needs to be given, no matter what, no matter how rich or poor the child is. In next 20 years, if this country has to excel, we need the educated people to come ahead. And believe me, Rajiv sir, Pradeep sir, after 20 years, the standard of living in this country will change, no matter which government. So I'm a very, it's my way of debating, if whatever it is, if we need to take from somewhere, from Punjab or from Delhi, we will take it. If we are bad in something, I agree. I'm not going to just.
And by the way, what is this? This is a somewhat frivolous subject, because we really have come to the last few questions of the show, and we know it's your birthday. Your whole family must be waiting for you. Now. Is there a party, by the way? It's your birthday. We are not invited, so.
Yeah, I'm waiting to be invited to your BKC studio, sir.
Sir, the invitation stands.
I'd like to do a show sitting next to you.
Hey, right now. We invite you right now. Come tomorrow. Come day after. Whenever. We're always here. But this is a somewhat frivolous subject. I don't know whether you would like to comment on this. There is a picture of Mr. Babankule sitting in some casino in Macau and gambling, which is doing the rounds. And they say that in one particular sitting he lost kitna? 3.5 crore?
Yes, that is
4
Sanjay
crore.
Raul's allegation that he taken a lot of coupons to play gambling.
You want to comment on that, sir?
Sir, I would not know the authenticity and the veracity of this, sir. Definitely I was not, this has taken me by surprise what this photo is circulating. I'll take information on that. Sir, but this is really painstaking. Forget about Bavankuleji or something, whatever it is. This should not be done. I really, if it's there, it's really shameful. I will take information. This is really taken me by surprise.
But
I will definitely get back on this, sir.
My point is, what's wrong in going to a casino? It's legal in Macau. I mean, what's the big deal? If somebody is going to a casino, is going to a casino.
Come again.
I mean, what's wrong in going to a casino? I don't find anything wrong.
Sir, definitely, sir, without taking some information on this casino and gambling, it would be really unfair for me to even comment on it, sir. Definitely, please let me get some information. I'll get back on this, sir.
Yeah, you know,
Really taken by surprise.
are you doing something on this? Bhujbal versus Jarange Patil, Manoj Jarange Patil. Manoj Jarange Patil is all over the districts and he's having huge crowds. Bhujbal Sahab also is having huge crowds. OBC people, OBC, the entire OBC community is rallying with Bhujbal Sahab. And Bhujbal Sahab ने जिस बात को उठा लिया था कि Fadnavis Sahab should have taken care of the policemen who were injured in the before the Jalna Lati charge.
Yes, they were.
You have transferred the Adhikshak from there, Mr. Tushar Doshi. Now, don't you think it's a bit harsh on the police that they are doing their jobs well and then
The police
for political
behaved,
purposes you transfer a police official?
the police behaved in an exemplary manner there, sir.
So, setting the record right on the Jarange Patil and the Bhujbal fiasco, I'd like to set the record right. In Maharashtra, the OBCs form 54% from the Maratha community. In this 54%, Sanjeev sir, 27% have got their reservations under VJNT, Mali, Teli, Dhangar, Vanjari and Kunbi. Now what Jarange Patil sir is asking for is getting the Maratha community into the OBC and getting them the same reservation. And Chhagan Bhujbal sir is objecting to this, sir. Though the fight is not between the community, it is between the way this reservation can be treated, from who's going to get less and who's going to get more. OBC ke liye Bhujbal sir has been a very tall leader. Jarange Patil ji should understand, if at all reservation needs to be given to Marathas, for which the BJP government is in total favor, in acceptance, a way needs to be worked out, definitely not by taking from Peter and giving it to Paul. We need to work out a policy and we are working on it. Sir, the time is too less, these deadlines are really bad. And what happened in the police attack, no, definitely this, no, I would not call it blackmail. This
It's worse than blackmail.
Arm twisting. No, it's called arm twisting. And this BJP government is not going to succumb to arm twisting. Over here, what we need to do, sir, over here, is this a sub judice court matter. We have got really good brains, really good minds. The government bureaucracy is totally working on how they can go into study the Nizam area, the Nizam era, time documentation and the veracities, and we will come back. Definitely these deadlines are not accepted, A. And B, what happened on the police action, sir, Jarange Patil ji fasting health deteriorated on that particular day. The police wanted them to take them to the hospital. When he was trying to be taken to the hospital, the mob got violent. They started stone pelting the police. In that, the police and the lady personnel got injured. In spite of it, they being injured, all they tried to do was defend themselves, and they were stoned and they were pelted. I am really in sympathy to the police. In spite, they couldn't attack because we are really on a back foot, because the citizens are also our brothers. You cannot attack our citizens. They are not Pakistanis or they are not terrorists. They are our own citizens. But law and order cannot be compromised. Over here, the police action was totally, what you could say, like, yes, it was the need of the hour, but the action taken on the police is very harsh. Devin sir should have taken little more time, understood the matter. Yes, the action has been taken and the heads have rolled, but this Maratha reservation issue, there are certain people who are trying to give it a different twist. I pray to the Marathas on your channel that please have some patience, things have been working out, and Devendra Fadnavis ji is the most imandar neta you can get, and only Devendra Fadnavis in his regime can get a solution to this issue, and this can be solved.
So, and the Dhangar protest today got violent in Jalna. अभी ये क्या हो रहा है sir? Caste versus caste. I mean, there's a battle on to prove. There's a battle on to prove who is more backward. भाई क्या है sir ये? Where are we going?
Definitely, yeah, definitely, sir. With my total, from the bottom of my heart, I'm requesting. This is really, really heart paining, sir. We have worked so hard, but on your platform, I would like to make an appeal to Sharad Pawar. Why does not he make his stand clear on Maratha reservation? Why is he playing this dirty politics? Jarange Patil had gone home. Rohit Pawar and Rajesh Topeji picked him up, requested him to come and sit back on the stage. They misguided Honorable Sharad Pawar ji, and this is really turning very dirty. They are using Jarange Patil ji, the Sharad Pawar clan is really using this. For what benefit, I do not know. They should realize there are lives included. The Maharashtra is going in for election, and by misleading the crowd, you cannot lead and you cannot win an election, sir.
Right, that's just about it. Thank you so much, sir, for talking to us. That is just about it. Ali Darwala sahab, wish you a very happy birthday again. God bless you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
And may you live for another 100 years. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Happy birthday to you. Mr.
Happy
Darwala.
birthday to you from
Thank
all
you,
of us
Pradesh,
here
sir.
at Nation Now.
Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Maharashtra. Vande Mataram.
Vande
Vande
Mataram.
Mataram.
Vande Mataram. Well, Mr. Darwala is always very, very clear. The BJP, no LPG subsidy, no free electricity, no free anything.
BJP is always right, as per Mr. Darwala.
Absolutely. No, but he says, when we are wrong, I admit we are wrong. When was the last time we admitted we were wrong? Anyway. But प्रदीप जी, एक बड़ी जो चीज़ है वो बड़ी खतरनाक चीज़ है जो कल लक्ष्मण हागे साहब ने बताया कि साहब ये कास्ट वर्सेस कास्ट, जाति बनाम जाति जो अभी एक संघर्ष चल रहा है, जैसे अभी आज धंगड़ समुदाय ने जाकर के पहली बार इस तरीके से तोड़फोड़ करी सर कलेक्टर के ऑफिस के सामने, मतलब ये क्या है यार? दिस इज लाइक इट्स इज वेरी डेंजरस. लेट्स आस्क मिस्टर राकेश शेट्टी फ्रॉम द इंडियन नेशनल कांग्रेस. ही इज जॉइंड अस. राकेश शेट्टी साहब नमस्कार.
नमस्कार राजीव जी, प्रदीप जी.
नमस्कार.
नमस्कार सर, नमस्कार. राकेश शेट्टी साहब, अभी तक तो मराठा आरक्षण के दौरान जो प्रोटेस्ट चल रही थी उसमें तोड़फोड़ हुई, आगजनी हुई, 2 एमएलए के घर को जला दिया गया. आज दंगड़ समुदाय के लोगों ने तोड़फोड़ करी है जलना में. ये क्या हो रहा है सर? मतलब दंगड़ वर्सेस मराठा, फिर माली वर्सेस somebody else, वंजारी वर्सेस somebody else. ये क्या हो रहा है सर? मतलब हैज द गवर्नमेंट लॉस्ट कंट्रोल? व्हाट हैज हैपेंड? राकेश शेट्टी साहब.
देखिए, रिजर्वेशन बहुत बड़ा मुद्दा है
जी.
यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड, बट ये जितने संगठन हैं, ये 10 संगठन आप देख लीजिए, ये अनऑर्गेनाइज्ड है उधर. मतलब इस कोई भी ये संगठन है, जैसे मराठास के साथ आज मनोज जरांगे पाटिल साहब है, मगर बाकी संगठन उनके पास कोई ऐसा लीडर नहीं है जिसकी बात ये लोग मानते हैं. क्योंकि कभी अपन देखते हैं कि कभी कभी आंदोलन शुरू हो जाती है, मगर आंदोलन लीडरों के हाथ से भी निकल जाती है
जी.
वो क्योंकि आप लोगों को इकट्ठा लेके आ जाते हैं, मगर उनको फिर कंट्रोल, उनके ऊपर नियंत्रण रखना बहुत जरूरी. क्योंकि जो सच्चा लीडर होगा, उसके जो संगठन होंगे, उनके जो लोग रहेंगे, वो उनके साथ खड़े रहते हैं और उनका कहना मानना चाहिए. ये जो इंसिडेंट्स हुए, ये सब अनफॉर्चुनेट है. इसका कोई उसको मतलब कोई वकालत नहीं करेगा कि हिंसा हो. जो भी बातचीत है, आपको डेमोक्रेटिक राइट है, आपको आंदोलन करना चाहिए और उस आंदोलन का रिप्रेजेंटेशन आपको कलेक्टर को देना चाहिए, चीफ मिनिस्टर को दीजिए, डिप्टी सीएम को दीजिए, और आपको मांग करनी चाहिए. मगर कानून हाथ पे अगर ले लिया आपने, तो ये आंदोलन का जो मकसद है कभी पूरा नहीं हो पाएगा. तो मेरा तो यही सुझाव है कि महाराष्ट्र सरकार जो है, मुख्यमंत्री और डिप्टी सीएम, इनकी जिम्मेदारी बनती है कि आप महाराष्ट्र में लॉ एंड ऑर्डर मेंटेन करें. और सबसे बड़ी बात, ये आंदोलन की बातचीत शुरू कब से हुई और इसका सलूशन क्या है? सलूशन है जॉब्स। आज आप देखिए कोविड के बाद लोगों की नौकरियां चली जा चुकी है, बहुत सारे लोग बेकार घर पे बैठे हैं, ऐसे लोगों को के पास अपॉर्चुनिटी नहीं है। तो दोनों इस सभी जो भी हिंसा भी हो रही है इस सबके जिम्मेदार केंद्र और राज्य सरकार है। अगर आप ये लोगों को इक्वल अपॉर्चुनिटी दिया होता, इनको जॉब्स दिया होता, तो कोई आदमी अपना नौकरी छोड़कर आंदोलन नहीं करता। आपको याद होगा कि महात्मा गांधी जी ने जब इस देश में फ्रीडम स्ट्रगल शुरू किया तब सबसे पहला उन्होंने क्या कहा? उन्होंने कहा कि डोंट टॉक एथिक्स इन फ्रंट ऑफ एम्प्टी स्टमक्स। मतलब आप अगर आदमी भूखा है तो आप पहले उसको ये मत बताइए कि ये सही है ये गलत है। भूखा आदमी के लिए रोटी ही सब कुछ होता है और उसको पाने के लिए कुछ भी कर सकता है।
जी दुरुस्त बात।
इसलिए आपको याद होगा कि महात्मा गांधी जी ने चरखा चलाकर एक एम्प्लॉयमेंट का जरिया गरीबों के बीच में लेके आए थे ताकि उनको अपना एम्प्लॉयमेंट से कुछ ना कुछ पैसे मिले और उसके बाद उन्होंने आजादी की ख्वाब उन्होंने दिखाया, उनको लोगों को बताया कि हम ब्रिटिशों ने हमें गुलाम बनाया और हमारे ऊपर अत्याचार हुआ है, इसलिए हमको ये आंदोलन में इस देश को आजाद करने के लिए आपको लड़ाई में शामिल होना चाहिए। उसी तरह महाराष्ट्र सरकार और केंद्र सरकार की जिम्मेदारी बनती है कि देश के अंदर महाराष्ट्र के अंदर ज्यादा से ज्यादा इंडस्ट्रीज आए, अच्छे इंडस्ट्रीज यहाँ पे लगे ताकि लोगों को हाथ में काम मिले। अगर लोगों के हाथ में काम नहीं है तो स्वाभाविक सी बात है कि पत्थर वो हाथ में ले ले।
राकेश रेड्डी साहब, अमित शाह जी ने वापस राम मंदिर का मुद्दा आज सबके सामने रख दिया। बोले कि 22 जनवरी को 12:22 पर रामलला नरेंद्र मोदी जी प्राण प्रतिष्ठान करेंगे। टाइमिंग भी सेट कर दिया है 12:22 पर। एंड ये कहने के बाद वो कहता है कि 70 years कांग्रेस has seen deprived this country of the राम मंदिर। कांग्रेस ने राम मंदिर के खिलाफ, निर्माण के खिलाफ हमेशा काम किया है। और मोदी जी था कि डेट भी देते 5/8/2019 को भूमि पूजन करके रास्ता दिखा दिया कि 550 साल के बाद राम मंदिर का पुनर्निर्माण कैसे होगा। Since Congress was always, Rakesh Reddy साहब, against the building of the Ram Mandir, opposed it. You always opposed it, Rakesh Reddy साहब. अमित शाह,
देखिए सबसे पहली बात, प्रभु श्री राम जो है वो भारतीय जनता पार्टी का अकेले का मोनोपोली वाला प्रोडक्ट नहीं, वो पूज्य है और सभी लोग उनको मानते हैं। कल राम मंदिर वहां पे बनने के बाद हम पूरे परिवार के साथ वहां पे जाए दर्शन ले, और बीजेपी उसका क्रेडिट ले रही है, मगर वो भूल रही है आज देश में तमाम मामले जब अटकता है, और जैसे अभी फडणवीस जी को आप पूछ लीजिए कि मराठाओं को आरक्षण क्यों नहीं मिल रहा, वो बताएंगे कि यार वो तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने रिजेक्ट किया। जिस राम मंदिर का निर्णय सुप्रीम कोर्ट का लार्जर बेंच ने दिया है उसका क्रेडिट क्यों आप लोग ले रहे? क्योंकि राम मंदिर वहां पे बनाने का ये जो प्रश्न का हल या उसका ऑर्डर जो है ये माननीय सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने दिया है, तो उसका क्रेडिट आप कैसे ले सकते हैं? जबकि एक तरफ मराठा आंदोलन हो, धनगर समाज का है, तो तब आप बोलते हो कि सरकार के हाथ में कुछ नहीं है, सब कुछ कोर्ट के हाथ में। तो देश की जनता समझती है कि कोई हम सरकार 2019 में अगर चुना है लोगों ने, तो लोगों को गुड गवर्नेंस चाहिए, उनको अच्छा इन्वेस्टमेंट इंडिया के अंदर चाहिए, सड़क अच्छी होनी चाहिए, स्कूल्स होने चाहिए, स्कूल्स में टॉयलेट होने चाहिए, टॉयलेट्स है तो उसको दरवाजा होना चाहिए, ये सब काम सरकार का है। सिर्फ एक राम मंदिर के भरोसे में वो चाहती है कि लोग उनको 2024 में वोट करे, ये नहीं होने वाला। और लोगों को ये जो गुमराह करते हैं ना कि राम मंदिर हमने बनाया, ये लोग समझते आज एजुकेटेड क्लास लोग हैं, उनको पता है कि राम मंदिर का निर्णय ये सुप्रीम कोर्ट का है और इसका क्रेडिट उनको नहीं मिलेगा।
राकेश रेड्डी साहब, भैया बोलिए।
भारतीय जनता पार्टी को हर चीज में क्रेडिट चाहिए। मतलब इंडियन क्रिकेट टीम ने बहुत अच्छा परफॉर्मेंस किया, हालांकि आखिरी मैच हम हार गए, उसका भी क्रेडिट मोदी जी और अमित शाह को चाहिए। इसरो में मंगलयान चला जाता है, उसका भी क्रेडिट वो दोनों को चाहिए। मतलब खुद का काम का छोड़कर बाकी सब लोग ने जो भी अचीवमेंट किया उसका क्रेडिट वो खुद लेना चाहिए। तो ऐसा मुझे नहीं लगता है कि इनको अपने काम लोगों के बीच में बात करना चाहिए कि कितने इंडस्ट्रीज लाए, कितने लोगों को एम्प्लॉयमेंट दिया, क्या आपका फ्यूचर है, प्रोजेक्शन क्या है इंडिया के बारे में, ये बात नहीं करते हुए सिर्फ राम मंदिर का बात करके आप वन पॉइंट एजेंडा नहीं चला सकते।
बट राकेश शेट्टी साहब, आज राहुल गांधी जी ने नरेंद्र मोदी जी को पनवती मोदी बुलाया है। सर, ये भाषा इस्तेमाल करनी चाहिए क्या उनको?
देखिए क्या है कि राहुल जी का जो स्टेटमेंट है, उन्होंने कहा, ये किस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में कहा ये बहुत जरूरी है
जी।
तो ऐसा है कि देखिए, आज मैं आपको बताता हूँ, एक सिंपल है, हम बहुत सारे लोग विश्वास भी करते हैं, अंधविश्वास भी होते हैं। देखिए मैं आपको बताता हूँ, वर्ल्ड कप आपने पूरा फॉलो किया
जी।
देखिए प्रधानमंत्री जी कोई मैच में नहीं गए, सब इंडियन क्रिकेट टीम जीत रही थी
जी।
तो एक ही मैच में कल वो लोग गए, अमित शाह और मोदी जी, और वहां पे हार गए तो उसको रेफरेंस मारते हुए उन्होंने कहा है। तो इसको लाइटली आपको लेना चाहिए, इतना सीरियस इश्यू नहीं है। और अगर मोदी जी और अमित शाह नहीं जाते तो हो सकता है कल का वर्ल्ड कप हमें जीत जाते। और
भाई ये तो कहा जा रहा है कि जब मोदी जी वहां पर पहुंचे तो ऑस्ट्रेलिया का स्कोर 45 for 3 था। हाँ। और वो 3 रह गया ऑलमोस्ट 200। उसके बाद कोई विकेट नहीं गिरी।
नहीं, तो वो एक लाइटर नोट का है कि कोई मैच, जितने मैचेस जीते तब मोदी जी और अमित शाह नहीं गए थे तो बराबर सब मैचेस हम जीत गए, और कल के मैच में ये लोग आ गए तो हम पहला मैच हार गए। मगर मैं आपको कहना चाहता हूँ आपके मीडिया के द्वारा कि इंडियन क्रिकेट टीम ने बहुत बढ़िया परफॉर्मेंस दिया है, बहुत सारे रिकॉर्ड्स बनाए गए, तोड़े गए, और क्रिकेट अल्टीमेटली इट वाज अ गेम। लास्ट मैच में परफॉर्म नहीं कर पाए एज पर द एक्सपेक्टेशन, मगर एज अ टीम अगर आप देखते हैं इनका परफॉर्मेंस बहुत बढ़िया है।
But Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad has taken it very, very seriously. He's really attacked Mr. Rahul Gandhi on his statement. And BJP leaders are also attacking Mr. Rahul Gandhi.
नहीं, देखिए ऐसा अभी कुछ दिनों से आप देखो कि जब आदमी काम नहीं करता, लोगों के वादा को तोड़ने के बाद, जैसे कि वो चले गए कर्नाटका, वहां पे भाजपा हार गई, वो चले गए हिमाचल प्रदेश, वहां पे भाजपा हार गई। तो मुझे लगता है जब तक नरेंद्र मोदी जी कुछ बढ़िया काम देश के लिए नहीं करते, उनको चुनाव प्रचार के लिए भी नहीं जाना चाहिए बीजेपी के आप पे, तो बीजेपी लगातार चुनाव हारती रहेगी, ऐसा मेरा कहना है।
राकेश शेट्टी साहब, जेपी नड्डा जी कह रहा है कि कांग्रेस मींस स्कैम्स, कांग्रेस हैज गिवन दिस कंट्री ओनली स्कैम्स, और फिर वो गिनाते गए सबमरीन स्कैम, हेलीकॉप्टर स्कैम, 2G स्कैम, कॉमनवेल्थ स्कैम, कोल स्कैम, राइस स्कैम। तो अलग अलग बोले कांग्रेस को आप वोट देंगे तो वापस यही स्कैम्स वापस आएंगे और देश को उस तरफ स्कैम्स की तरफ निकल जाएंगे। राजस्थान में नशे के तस्करों को बढ़ावा दे रहा है सरकार, दैट इज व्हाट जेपी नड्डा, अमित शाह सिंह। अगर 5 साल का कोई डेवलपमेंट है तो वो लाल डायरी है, लाल डायरी। सर व्हाट इज दिस लाल डायरी सीक्रेट कि 5 साल का पूरा डेवलपमेंट और लाल डायरी है? राकेश शेट्टी साहब,
देखिए अभी 5 राज्यों में चुनाव है, बहुत सारे तो वोटिंग शुरू भी हो गए। अभी अगर हम देख लेते कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी अगर कहती है कि कांग्रेस ने स्कैम्स किया है, तो मेरा ये काउंटर है कि आपके पास ईडी है, सीबीआई है, व्हाई नॉट अरेस्ट कांग्रेस मिनिस्टर्स? जितने कांग्रेस के मंत्री यूपीए 1 और 2 में थे, आप उनको अरेस्ट करिए, उनके स्कैम्स को बाहर लाइए। मगर मैं आप लोग दोनों को याद दिलाना चाहता हूं, 2014 के पहले जो कोल स्कैम्स, 2G स्पेक्ट्रम स्कैम था, कॉमनवेल्थ गेम स्कैम था, ये लोग 2014 के पहले अरेस्ट हुए थे कांग्रेस जब सरकार में। सुरेश कलमाड़ी हो, कन्नी मुनी हो, इन सभी की बात में कर रहा हूं। जैसा 2014 में मोदी गवर्नमेंट आया, ये जितने स्कैम की बात कर रहे सब लोग निर्दोष बरी हुए कोर्ट से। उसके बाद जिस पनामा पेपर में रमन सिंह जी के लड़के का नाम आया था, कांग्रेस के कुछ लोगों का नाम आया था, वो पनामा पेपर में करीबन 120 लोगों का नाम आया था। मोदी जी हर प्रचार रैली में जाकर कहते थे कि मैं वो नाम लोगों के, देश के लोगों के बीच में लेके आऊंगा। एक भी नाम उन्होंने बाहर नहीं निकाला। अगर आप ईमानदार है तो आपको वो नाम जनता के बीच में लाना चाहिए। और ईमानदारी की अगर कोई बात करता है तो ईमानदारी ट्रांसपेरेंसी से आती है। आप परसों के दिन एक याचिका सुप्रीम कोर्ट में चालू है। भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार कहती है कि हम कॉमन मैन मतलब आम आदमी को ये नहीं बताएंगे कि हमारे पार्टी को चंदा कौन दे रहा है, क्योंकि आज आप जानते हैं कि इलेक्ट्रॉल बॉन्ड की तरफ से आपको डोनेशन आती है पॉलिटिकल पार्टी को। तो बीजेपी इज सेइंग कि मैं नहीं बताऊंगा मेरा सोर्स ऑफ डोनेशन। क्यों भाई, अगर आप ईमानदार है तो आपको जनता को बताना चाहिए कि आपके डोनर्स कौन है और क्यों वो आपको इतना चंदा दे रहे। देखिए 4 साल के अंदर एक डेटा बाहर आया है कि करीबन 3000 करोड़ डोनेशन सिर्फ बीजेपी को मिला है और कांग्रेस को कुछ 100 करोड़ के आसपास मिला है। तो इतना अगर एक पार्टी सत्ता में है और एक ऑपोजिशन में है तो इतना डिफरेंस डोनेशन में अगर आ रहा है तो आप लोग सरकार में बैठकर खुद तो फेवरेबल डिसीजन इस उद्योगपतियों को दे रहे हो, इसलिए तो आपको डोनेशन आ रहा है। और अगर आप बार बार 2014 और 19 में लोगों को वादा किया कि आप ईमानदार सरकार दोगे तो आपका दायित्व बनता है कि आप डोनर लिस्ट को बाहर डाले, पब्लिक डोमेन पे डाले और लोगों को पता चले कि आपके डोनर्स क्या है, कौन है और उनको गवर्नमेंट किस तरह फायदा पहुंचाए।
Rakesh Shetty साहब, राहुल गांधी जी ने आज कहा, he says if you are bringing the BJP in, if the people are going to bring the BJP in Rajasthan, आपको आज के तारीख में पूरे देश में सबसे सस्ता गैस सिलेंडर राजस्थान में मिल रहा है। That is what Rahul Gandhi said. Rahul Gandhi further says old pension scheme, वुमन हेड ऑफ फैमिली को 10,000 रुपया, गोबर हम लोग 2 रुपए में खरीद रहे हैं, स्टूडेंट्स को हम लोग लैपटॉप दे रहे हैं, इंग्लिश मीडियम स्कूल्स में आप बच्चों को पढ़ा रहे हैं हम लोग, राइट टू एजुकेशन। तो he said he warned the people that अगर बीजेपी comes, बीजेपी will destroy everything that the Congress has done. Now the BJP says राजस्थान में कुछ अच्छा काम हुआ नहीं है सर। Now how do you this a wide pendulum gap कि बीजेपी बोलो nothing is done, Rahul Gandhi saying the best things have been done. The cheapest gas in the entire country is in Rajasthan. राकेश शेट्टी साहब,
देखिए अगर आप राजस्थान का मैनिफेस्टो देखोगे या तेलंगाना का देखोगे या मध्य प्रदेश छत्तीसगढ़ का, हमने वादा किया वोटर से कि 500 रुपीज का सब्सिडी स्टेट गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से दिया जाएगा। मतलब आज जो गैस सिलेंडर लोगों को 1200-1300 रुपया का था वो आपको 600-700 रुपया में आएगा। और पहली बार ये कांग्रेस ने अपने मैनिफेस्टो में डाला और मुझे पूरा विश्वास है कि ये जो मोदी जी सरकार पे आने से पहले कहते थे कि गैस का पेट्रोल का दाम आधा होगा, उन्होंने कभी किया नहीं क्योंकि हमने 9 साल देख लिया। मेरा आपके द्वारा सभी लोगों से ये वादा रहेगा कि कांग्रेस पार्टी जो बात हिमाचल में कहा और कर्नाटक में कहा, हमारी सरकार आने के बाद हमने वो वादा पूरा करने का पूरा कोशिश किया है और चालू कर दिया। उसी तरह राजस्थान हो, तेलंगाना हो, मध्य प्रदेश हो, छत्तीसगढ़ हो, यहाँ पे भी जो वादा हमने किया, गैस सिलेंडर ही नहीं, वुमेन्स के लिए 3000 प्रति महीना, वो भी हमारा एक बहुत बड़ा गेम चेंजर रहेगा। आप देखिए अनएम्प्लॉयड यूथ के लिए हमारा 1000 रुपए का भत्ता है, वो भी बहुत बड़ा गेम चेंजर रहेगा। तेलंगाना में हम देखोगे तो 20 हमने ऐसा एक लिस्ट बनाया हुआ है जो गरीब तबके के लोग हैं उनको कुछ पैसा मिलेगा। राहुल जी का ये कहना है कि अगर हम अदानी जी का 60,000 करोड़ रुपया माफ कर सकते हैं, मैं वही पैसा गरीबों में बांटना चाहता हूँ। मुझे ऐसा नहीं लगता कि इसमें कोई गलत बात।
But Rakesh Shetty साहब, what you are saying, the Karnataka model, the BJP says the freebies जो आप the गरीब कल्याण योजनाएं जो आप you have failed, you have flopped there where Karnataka is concerned. बीजेपी का कहना है जो 200 यूनिट फ्री वाली बात है, you have failed there. Free travel of women in buses, you have failed there. Where employment allowance to the unemployed youth है, you have failed there. That is what the BJP says. They says this is Congress's role model of Garib Kalyan Yojana that has failed in Karnataka, and that is what is going to happen everywhere. Rakesh Shetty साहब,
प्रदीप जी, मैं कल कर्नाटका से आया है। okay. डिस्ट्रिक्ट में मेरा होम टाउन है, मतलब मेरे एंसेस्टर्स का। वहां पे क्योंकि वो घर में एक ही मेंबर रहता है हमारे फैमिली का, उनको परसों के दिन 16 रुपया बिल आया।
16 रुपए का बिल,
16 रुपए का बिल आया। तो ये जो हमने प्रॉमिस किया है, ये कल मैंने विटनेस किया है, चेक करके आया हूँ सर।
जी।
एंड वी आर डूइंग दैट। और बीजेपी तो आपके आंखों से आंख मिलाकर झूठ बोलने में माहिर है। सो आई थिंक यू शुड नॉट गो विद दैट, क्योंकि कल मैंने प्रैक्टिकली ये देखा है और जो मैंने ऑब्जर्व किया वो आपके सामने है।
यहां पर सर एक चीज पूछना चाह रहा था मैं आपसे, राकेश शेट्टी साहब, मध्य प्रदेश में बहुत जबरदस्त मोमेंटम था कांग्रेस का, ऐसा कहा जा रहा था, और रिपोर्ट्स जो ग्राउंड से आ रही थी वो भी यही कह रही हैं कि कांग्रेस का बहुत जबरदस्त मोमेंटम था, बट दे ऑल्सो से दैट नाउ द बीजेपी सीम्स टू बी कैचिंग अप। इज दैट करेक्ट?
देखिए कैसा है कि कांग्रेस और बीजेपी में एक फर्क है और वो आपको समझना पड़ेगा। कांग्रेस काम करती है, बता नहीं पाती है। बीजेपी थोड़ा सा काम करके प्रोपेगेंडा और इवेंट इतने बड़े पैमाने पे करेंगे कि उनका झूठ आपको सच लगने लगे। हाँ, हाल ही का बीजेपी ने बहुत अच्छा स्ट्रेटजी किया, वो घबराए हुए थे, इसलिए करीबन 6 मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट आज एमएलए का चुनाव लड़ रहे। बहुत सारे एमएलए के टिकट उन्होंने काट दिए। एक केंद्रीय मंत्री आज वो आके यहाँ पे चुनाव लड़ रहा है एमएलए का। तो अगर हम उनका ओवरऑल देखेंगे कि उन्होंने चेंजेस किया है, मगर मध्य प्रदेश की जो जनता है वो व्यापन घोटाला और आपको पता है वहां पे तलाटियों का जो भर्ती था वो नहीं हो पा रहा जी। 4 साल में बहुत सारे स्कीम्स वहां पे लागू होने वाले थे, वो लागू नहीं हुए। और 8 या 9 महीने के लिए सरकार थी कमलनाथ जी की, बहुत बढ़िया काम किया। जो जो योजनाएं शुरू किया था, बीजेपी जैसे पावर में आ गई वो सब योजनाओं को उन्होंने बंद कर दिया। तो मध्य प्रदेश की जनता ने 2018 में भी जो मैंडेट दिया था वो क्लियर कांग्रेस के लिए दिया था, और मुझे पूरा विश्वास है कि 2023 में अभी 3 तारीख को तो रिजल्ट बाहर आएगा हमारे बीच। आप देखोगे कि कांग्रेस की सरकार मध्य प्रदेश में, राजस्थान में, छत्तीसगढ़ में बनने जा रही है।
और यहां पर एक और चीज पूछना चाह रहा हूं मैं आपसे शेट्टी साहब, आई डोंट नो वेदर यू वुड लाइक टू रिप्लाई टू दिस, बट आई वुड लव इट इफ यू डू। शेट्टी साहब, just recently we saw a video of a minister's son talking about hundreds of crores, you know, 30 crores from here, 20 crores from there, and so on and so forth. The funny part is that entire story seems to have died down. Nobody's talking about it anymore. Just because the BJP said it's a fake video, it's a fake this, fake this. Now, contrast this, if that kind of a video of a Congress minister's son had come out, you know, every channel would have been full of it. 24 घंटे 24/7 उसी के ऊपर पूरा का पूरा न्यूज साइकिल चलता। शेट्टी साहब,
सर ये तो हमने देखा है 2013 में कि 2G स्पेक्ट्रम जो स्कैम कहते हैं उसका कितना बड़ा चढ़ा के हमारी सरकारों को बदनाम किया गया था।
1,73,000 करोड़ सर।
हाँ, जबकि वो पैसा किसी को मिला नहीं, कोई नहीं बता पाया, और कोर्ट ने कहा कि ये अमाउंट इतना फिक्टिशियस है कि मतलब 3G का लाइसेंस इतने में गया इसलिए 2G को इतना होना चाहिए। ये एजम्पशन पे का खेल था। सिमिलर चीज मैं आपको बताता हूँ, कोई मीडिया चैनल का इतना हिम्मत नहीं है आज के डेट पे कि आप भारतीय जनता पार्टी को क्वेश्चन करें, नरेंद्र मोदी जी को क्वेश्चन करें। स्मृति ईरानी को एक पत्रकार ने एक क्वेश्चन पूछ लिया, उसने उसका चैनल का नाम पूछ लिया और उसके बाद उसके मालिक को फोन करके उनको इमीडिएट सैक करवा लिया। तो आज कोई पत्रकार, कोई न्यूज चैनल ये बचा नहीं है कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी के कोई लीडर को क्वेश्चन करे, क्योंकि भारतीय जनता पार्टी का जो फॉर्मूला है काम करने का वो ऐसा है कि जितने न्यूज चैनल्स है उनको एड रेवेन्यू ये गवर्नमेंट से मिलती है और कोई भी व्यक्ति अपना लॉस नहीं करना चाहता। इसलिए आप देखोगे जितने न्यूज चैनल्स है आज के डेट पे भारतीय जनता पार्टी का गुणगान करेंगे। उनका वो बोलते हैं ना 7 गुण माफ है, इनके लिए 1000 गुण माफ है। इनका
and the other thing also is this, and this is a very tragic subject for me and I'm sure for Pradeep ji and for you. It's a very serious matter, sir. 41 laborers are still trapped in that Uttarakhand tunnel, and the corporate media is completely silent on it. मतलब कोई ये क्या हो रहा है यार? I have never seen this kind of news coverage ever in my life. कभी कोई बच्चा, सर कोई बच्चा बोरवेल में गिर जाता है तो 24 घंटे उसी के ऊपर रहते हैं। यहां पर 41 वर्कर, 41 workers are trapped in that tunnel. And where are our priorities? That's what I'm asking.
नहीं, सही बात है। आजकल देखिए सब फिल्टर्ड न्यूज है, जो उनको दिखाना है वही दिखाते हैं। आज ये सबसे पहले तो मैं ऊपर वाले से ये दुआ करूंगा कि ये जो वर्कर्स है ये सेफफुली बाहर आ जाए। और मुझे जो अभी अभी रिपोर्ट कुछ घंटे पहले मिले कि कुछ वर्करों से संपर्क हो पाया है
जी।
उन्होंने वीडियो का वो स्ट्रिंग नीचे जाकर उन्होंने आपके चैनल पे भी मुझे दिख रहा है
जी।
तो इट इज अ पॉजिटिव साइन। और मीडिया देखो इतना अभी बायस हो चुका है, क्योंकि ये है वर्क कॉन्ट्रैक्ट का और इसको रिलेट करेंगे आप सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट से और फिर उनको क्रिटिसाइज किया जाएगा। वो लोग ऐसा कोई नेगेटिव इम्पैक्ट नहीं चाहते भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार के ऊपर। दैट इज द रीजन ये लोग अवॉइड कर रहे हैं। मगर मैं आप जैसे चैनल्स को बधाई दूंगा कि आप लोग निष्पक्ष एक काम कर रहे हैं।
Shahi साहब, the Maharashtra problem, Chhagan Bhujbal's huge OBC rallies, उसमें आपके लीडर विजय वडेट्टीवार भी रहते हैं, the same platform praising what Chhagan Bhujbal is। तो फ्लिप फ्लॉप, एक दिन वडेट्टीवार उनके साथ रहते हैं, दूसरे दिन बोल रहे कि हमारा रास्ता अलग है, भुजबल साहब का मकसद अलग है, हम अपने पॉलिसीज को फॉलो करेंगे, बट वी वाज जस्ट ऑन अ कॉमन प्लेटफॉर्म, दैट्स ऑल। Now, how do you see this aggravating? Because वहां के पुलिस ऑफिसर तुषार दोषी को भी ट्रांसफर कर दिया है। भुजबल साहब ने अक्यूज किया कि देव फडणवीस हैज नॉट हैंडल्ड दिस पर्टिकुलर पुलिस इंजरीज इश्यूज जो जलना में हुआ था, एंड आफ्टर विच द लाठीचार्ज टुक प्लेस एंड द पुलिस पर्सनल वाज। तो व्हाट इज हैपनिंग? यू नो, यू गॉट अ कैबिनेट मिनिस्टर विद इन द गवर्नमेंट अक्यूजिंग, एंड द गवर्नमेंट कॉन्ट्ररी टेक्स अ स्टैंड आफ्टर डेज कि वही पुलिस ऑफिसर कुछ हुआ नहीं इन्वेस्टिगेशन ढंग से, कि वो जो 70 लोग बोल रहे हैं पुलिस ऑफिशियल जो इंजर्ड थे, हॉस्पिटलाइज थे। तो हाउ डू यू सी द एंटायर थिंग क्रॉपिंग अप, राकेश रेड्डी साहब?
देखिए, सबसे पहले आपको बताता हूँ, मराठा जो आरक्षण का मुद्दा है, अगर इसको इस महाराष्ट्र में कोई रोक रहा है तो मेरा पूरा आरोप है डिप्टी सीएम हमारे देवेंद्र फडणवीस जी के ऊपर। क्योंकि और उसके बाद भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने मराठा आंदोलन को डाइवर्ट करने का कोशिश किया, उसको उन्होंने ओबीसी वर्सेस मराठा करने का कोशिश किया। और इसलिए आप जो मंत्री है छगन भुजबल जी, वो तो सरकार में बैठे हैं, उनको निकालकर आंदोलन करने की जरूरत नहीं है। यू हैव टू कॉल अप कैबिनेट मीटिंग और वहां पे आपको बात करना चाहिए। मतलब इस पे पूरा राजनीति कर रहा है और मराठा आंदोलन को कमजोर करने का काम छगन भुजबल जी कर रहे हैं और देवेंद्र फडणवीस जी कर रहे हैं। ओबीसी का मामला अलग है, मराठा समाज का मामला अलग है। और ये बात मैं आपके चैनल पे पहले भी बता चुका हूँ, दूसरे चैनल्स में भी बता रहा हूँ। आपको पार्लियामेंट का स्पेशल सेशन बुलाना है, जो आपको सीलिंग है 50% का, आप उसके ऊपर नहीं जा सकते। तो जिस तरह आप लोगों ने 10% ईवीएस का अपने सीलिंग के ऊपर ही आपने ईवीएस को दिया होगा, आपको याद होगा। तो नरेंद्र मोदी सरकार ने एक स्पेशल पार्लियामेंट सेशन में 10% ईवीएस इकोनॉमिक वीकर सेक्शन के लिए रिजर्वेशन लाया था। उसी तरह आपको मराठा के लिए महाराष्ट्र में रिजर्वेशन लाना चाहिए। इसमें क्या होगा कि ओबीसी समाज का भी जो स्लॉट है उसमें कम नहीं होगा और मराठा जो हमारे भाई है उनको भी आरक्षण मिल जाएगा
जी।
तो
लेकिन ऐसा करेंगे क्या सर? ऐसा करेंगे क्या?
यही सोल्यूशन है सर। अगर आपको उनको 5.5 करोड़ मराठा है, अगर आपको उनको जस्टिस देना है, मराठा में काफी लोग गरीब है। एक टाइम हुआ करता था कि आपको पता है कि जो मराठा साम्राज्य था, तो मराठा का काम टैक्स और सब कुछ कलेक्ट करने का मराठा उसके हाथ में था। महाराष्ट्र के अंदर, कर्नाटक के अंदर सभी ये जो आप सरनेम देखते हो, देशमुख, पाटिल, टाइटल्स। मगर आज वही लोग बेचारे किसान है, किसी के पास 1 एकड़ जमीन है, किसी के पास आधा एकड़ है और इनके पास कुछ और सोर्स नहीं है। तो अगर आपको उनको उस क्लास से ऊपर लाना है तो आपको उनको रिजर्वेशन देना पड़ेगा। और इंस्टेड ऑफ गेटिंग इनटू ओबीसी, आप उनको स्पेशल 10% का आप स्लैब आप उनको सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट से अप्रूव करवाइए स्पेशल पार्लियामेंट सेशन में, और उसके बाद आप उनको आरक्षण दे सकते हैं महाराष्ट्र।
And Nana Patorji जी saying that the youth are unemployed, he is warning the government the youth is unemployed, और आगे जाके यूथ को और खराब बर्बाद करने के लिए नाना पाटोली जी ने आरोप लगाते कि जिला परिषद स्कूल्स को आपने बंद कर दिया। You are shutting down, closing down जिला परिषद स्कूल, the very effect of the right to education, जो he believes that the Congress has bought the right to education, ना वो पूरा सिस्टम कोलैप्स हो जाएंगे. आप जिला परिषद स्कूल्स को बंद नहीं कर सकते. That is what Nana Patole is saying. Not only you are making the students academic spoil कर रहे हो, but उनका future course of employment also stopped. Now this is an accusation on the government. How do you see that, Rakesh Shetty साहब?
देखिए, नाना पटोले जी ने जो कहा वो सही किया, बिकॉज आप अगर देखते हो बीजेपी का स्ट्रैटेजी ऐसा है कि गवर्नमेंट जो काम कर रही है बहुत सारे, मतलब एजुकेशन भी वो प्राइवेटाइज करना चाहते. आज आपने देखा होगा, आपको एक खबर बताता हूँ कि हाल ही में इन्होंने पूरे मुंबई का टीडीआर राइट्स अदानी को दे दिया. आप जनरली जानते हैं कि धारावी में जो टीडीआर अभी निकलेगा, अदानी को उन्होंने इंडेक्सिंग के बाहर रख दिया. मतलब आज कोई एसआरए कर रहा है बांद्रा में और उसका जो एक्सेस टीडीआर है आप नॉर्थ में, मतलब या तो फिर नॉर्थ या नॉर्थ ईस्ट में बेच सकते, क्योंकि वहां पे सबब में आपके पास जगह है, वहां पे आप हाई राइज बना सकते हैं. मगर अदानी को उन्होंने इंडेक्सिंग से निकाल दिया है. और दूसरा एक फेवर किया है, मुंबई में जितने बिल्डिंग अभी बनेगी उनको कह दिया है कि आपको 80% टीडीआर अदानी से लेना है, जो पहले हम लोग कॉर्पोरेशन से लेते थे. मतलब एक मोनोपोली क्रिएट कर रहा है. तो नाना पटोले आपको इशारा उसी तरफ कर रहे हैं कि बहुत जल्द आप महाराष्ट्र के अंदर भी ये एजुकेशन भी ये लोग प्राइवेटाइज पूरी तरह करेंगे और कोई कॉर्पोरेट सेक्टर, ये जेडपी के जो स्कूल है, उनका लैंड है, इसके ऊपर भी कब्जा किया जाए.
You want to speak on the corruption issue which Sanjay Raut ji has accused Bhavan Khule gambling at Macau.
In Macau.
Gambling in Macau. Do you think his right to gamble is his fundamental right? Or you have to have some kind of moral in political and public life?
No, sir, there is no moral. नहीं, अभी आप देखिए बावन खुले जी का तो मैं उनको क्रिटिसाइज नहीं करूंगा, क्योंकि इस देश का हालत ऐसा हुआ है कि हर एक के ऐप में, अगर आपको पता है, देयर इज अ ऐप कॉल्ड एज ड्रीम 11.
Yes.
माननीय सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने उनका उसका रूल बनाया दिया है. मतलब आप इंडिया के अंदर लीगली बेटिंग कर सकते हो. मुझे ये समझ में नहीं आ रहा है कोर्ट ने भी इस तरीके कंपनीज को, इस तरीके के एप्स को किस तरह परमिशन आप दे रहे हो. मतलब जो गैम्बलिंग प्रोहिबिटेड है, मतलब पूरे देश में सिर्फ कुछ स्पेशल स्टेट्स जो इकोनॉमिकल वीक है उनको सिर्फ अलाउड था. आपको याद होगा जैसे वो मणिपुर हुआ या नागालैंड हुआ, ऐसे कुछ स्टेट्स को था. आज तो आपके मोबाइल पे आ गया है सर. तो गैम्बलिंग आप हर रोज कर रहे हैं लोग, और इन न्यू जनरेशन दे आर इनटू इट. ड्रीम 11 आप देख लो, कुछ दिन के बाद इसके ऊपर भी आपको शो करना पड़ेगा. और ये ऐप तो जैसे वो महादेव ऐप का आपको पता है कि मध्य प्रदेश में अभी चल रहा है एक स्कैम का, उसी तरह ये हजारों ऐप बन गए और लीगली इंडिया में ऑपरेट कर रहे. तो मुझे इसके ऊपर बहुत आपत्ति है कि गैम्बलिंग को इस तरह अगर आप कर दोगे, इसकी लत लग जाएगी और लोग बर्बाद हो जाएंगे.
और हो रहे हैं सर, राकेश शेट्टी साहब, हो रहे हैं. वी हैव सीन इट आवरसेल्व्स, व्हिच इज रादर सैड. सो व्हेन आर यू गोइंग बैक टू हैदराबाद सर? Shetty साहब,
I'm planning to go on Saturday because फिर 4 ही दिन बच जाता है. 4-5 दिन के बाद तो वहाँ पे भी वोटिंग.
And how are things looking in Hyderabad? Because Mr.
If you see Telangana as a state,
in Telangana,
on 17th Rahul ji did a padyatra and the crowd was like phenomenal. And if you see that Rahul ji fever is there in that entire state, and even Chandrasekhar Rao is admitting openly that Congress will not get more than 45 seats. So
that is huge. That's a huge admission.
Sitting minister.
That means you are looking at least 90.
Yeah, that's what. If the opposition is saying that we will not get more than 45, that is a huge complaint, because right now we have just 3 MLAs.
Yes.
And if his intelligence is giving him this data, that means I am quite sure that we are making a government in Telangana.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, Mr. Rakesh Shetty. Always a pleasure talking to you, sir. Namaskar. Lovely to speak to you. You're very candid, very honest and very upfront. Thank you, sir. So, as Mr. Rakesh Shetty said, why are you so worried about what Mr. Bhavan Kule was doing in Macau? अरे यार वो ड्रीम 11 ऐप तो तुम्हारे
यहाँ पे यही पर खेल सकते हो आप। मकाऊ जाने की जरूरत क्या है?
मकाऊ जाने की जरूरत क्या है? मतलब जेम्स बॉन्ड बनने की जरूरत क्या है सर? If you remember, there was that lovely scene in Skyfall.
Yes,
you know,
yes,
all
yes.
those gambling houses in Macau,
casinos.
Yes, with those big monitor lizards all over the place. I mean, oh, it is terrible. Anyway, at the moment with us, our very old friend, after a very long time, Ruben Mascarenas, one man we really and truly admire, the man who's really put his heart and soul and blood and sweat into making the Aam Aadmi Party what it is today in Mumbai and in Maharashtra. Of course, he's also worked everywhere else. Ruben, very good evening. Mr. Mascarenas.
Good evening, RKB. Thank you so much. You're always very kind. Thank you.
No, but really speaking, by the way, congratulations. Mascarenas, sir. Congratulations.
Congratulations for
650 Mohalla clinics completed and functioning in Punjab, which is fantastic.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely wonderful.
Yes. We are absolutely thrilled.
650 Mohalla clinics, and Mr. Bhagwant Mann has promised today, along with Arvind Kejriwal साहब, कि प्रदीप जी हर जिले का जो भी हॉस्पिटल है, उसमें सारा इक्विपमेंट अवेलेबल होगा 1 महीने के अंदर, इंक्लूडिंग एक्सरे मशीन्स, वो क्या बोलते हैं, MRI स्कैनर, बाकी सब चीजें जो भी होती हैं। आज की तारीख में पंजाब के अस्पतालों में जब आम आदमी पार्टी आई थी, अस्पताल तो है कहने को, लेकिन you don't even have an X-ray machine. Can you believe it? I thought that is a basic. I thought even a primary health center has an X-ray machine these days. So what were these guys doing? I really would like you to give me a take on what were these guys doing before that? Because as I told you, I'm getting fantastic reports of how you guys have transformed schools, especially in the border districts of Punjab, which is amazing, really and truly amazing. Please go ahead, Ruben, please.
So, thank you, RKB. So, I think 2-3 things here. One is what was happening in Punjab is that there was this organized loot, irrespective of whoever is in power, whether it is the Congress or whether it is the Akalis. Their business interests would essentially never be harmed, right? So, you had this status quo beneficiaries in terms of both the Congress as well as the Akalis. Like, let's take the Akali. When it comes to the private transport companies which are owned by the Badal, they don't really have any incentive to actually improve public transport, which will drastically reduce the cost of travel, would make affordable travel and quality travel actually possible for millions of Aam Aadmi, which is what Punjab actually wants. But as we can see that once you had the Bhagwant Mann government in place, we've actually been able to show that revenue can increase, right? So what was happening is that there was deliberate obstruction of state capacity. Now this can happen through the private transport facilities, as I mentioned, that they don't have any incentive to actually better government facilities, or for that matter, what we are seeing with regards to education and health. Right? I mean, even for health, right? You had these PHCs which were existing. These PHCs were there only on paper. They were pathetic. There was no accountability. There was, it was just not up to the mark, right? And what are we doing? We're bringing governance to an acceptable level. This is exactly what we did in Delhi. And this is what we are doing in Punjab. It's just that Punjab is a much bigger state. Which means that it has a very large rural segment also. In Delhi, you could see things happening rapidly. Even Punjab, it is still very much rapid when compared with everything else. But I was here when Bhagwant Manji was visiting just about 4 months ago. And even here at the Mumbai Investor Summit, he made an emphatic appeal saying that I want to rehaul Punjab's healthcare system. We're going to implement what we implemented in Delhi, which is essentially a 3-tier healthcare system where medicines will be free, where tests are free, and everything would be quality. So just as in Delhi, when you don't basically get a surgery in the assigned prescribed time of 30 days, you can actually go to a private facility and you can undertake the surgery there, and the government basically pays for it. So that is the kind of healthcare system which is absolutely world class, something that we received accolades from the UN and somebody as great as Kofi Annan. So I think that is the kind of work we wish to replicate in Punjab, and 651 Mohalla clinics, which are essentially known in Punjab, they're known as pinned clinics.
Yes.
Which was basically inaugurated. And of course, what Bhagwan Manji said, we are increasing the number of medical colleges. I mean, you never had an increase of medical colleges in the last 70 odd years, right? We are increasing it within 5 years. We are almost tripling its capacity, right?
Wow.
There will be a medical college almost in every district. That is the kind of vision that Bhagwan Manji has. And
so which means now, Ruben, just a minute.
Development model in Delhi.
Just 1 second.
There are pillars in Mumbai too.
Just 1 second. So which means now Punjab is likely to get maybe 12 more medical colleges. Is that what's likely to happen? Because right now you got the CMC, Ludhiana.
Yes,
you got another medical college in Ludhiana.
16 more medical colleges.
Fantastic.
16. And in phase 1 it is 6. Phase 1 it is 6. It is 2 years. Right?
Fantastic.
And that is the kind of investment that the government is, that the Punjab government and the Aam Aadmi Party government under Bhagwan Singh Mann is doing when it comes to social infrastructure, when it comes to human infrastructure of health, of education.
And the other thing which I was very impressed with, by the way, today, Pradeep ji, you can take this up from here. The Arvind Kejriwal actually distributed 0 electricity bills to God knows how many thousands of people. 0 electricity bills today. Are yaar, matlab, this requires brains, man. This requires real brains. Only an IIT graduate can do that. Pradeep ji.
You know, the Ruben Mascaron, the most important thing is creating government jobs. That is what the Punjab government has done. Where all the other government, you have a contract system and people are complaining of contract jobs that need to go back to permanent. The Congress has in its manifesto that we are going to create more government jobs. Here you already doing a 38,000, around 38,000 government jobs created by the Punjab government within a matter of 2.5 years is something what everybody has to emulate. They have to. This is creation, and that's what fascinating. In an age when there's no government jobs, you're into a contract system everywhere, including Maharashtra, everywhere into a contract system. And here you have a person generating 38,000 government jobs. How do you do that? How do you do that, Mr. Mascaron? The will.
So I'll tell you. Thank you, Pradeep ji. Very good question. A very good question. And I'd like to. Am I audible? Can you hear me?
Absolutely audible. Yes, we can see you and hear you.
You can hear me?
Yes, we can also see you.
Okay. Okay, so very quickly, I think what has happened is when it comes to government schemes are essentially seen as some sort of a dole. It's essentially seen as some sort of a distribution of patronage. And that's what we've been seeing in most state after state, right? And in Punjab, we've demonstrated that look, the government can be a key source of employment. And it can also, all those employments can be made, all those recruitments can be done on the basis of absolute merit. And that's exactly what you're seeing in Punjab, which is these contractual workers who are just basically kept there as contractual workers. And imagine if the government starts essentially optimizing things to the extent that efficiency is more important than equity, then it's a problem. So I think what the Punjab government is doing is essentially putting its money where its mouth is, and it's demonstrating as to how you can actually have equitable employment through recruitments for government jobs without compromising on merit. And I think that job creation, that focus, and this is not just the government jobs. Also, there's a focus on what's happening in Mohalla. Mohalla as a city will, and write it down, okay? RKB, I'm making a prediction here.
Yeah.
In the next 5 years, Mohalla will overtake a Hyderabad and a Bangalore, right?
Wow.
Next 5 years, you see the kind of agreements being reached with Tata Power. It's essentially one of the biggest industry houses in Punjab right now. I know for a fact that there are several other conversations happening. And I mean, Mohali will eclipse everything. Mohali will even eclipse a Chandigarh or a Gurgaon. I mean, it's just a matter of five or maximum 10 years. That's the kind of investment being made into Mohali, truly becoming a city for enterprise, a startup city. You see the policies. It's open a company in a single day. You'll get approvals in a week. So all of that is very much on course. Bhagwan Man means business. I work with the CM. I know he's not going to leave any stone unturned in taking the state. So it's not just about delivering what we promise, but it's about just taking everything when it comes to Punjab, which is suffered from years of neglect. So it's not just doing what we are out to do. It's also essentially undoing the damage that has already been done by decades of misrule, by decades of neglect.
You know, Mr. Mascarenhas, what really impresses is Kejriwal government in Delhi. You have got the first construction and demolition recycling plant in Delhi. It's not there anywhere in the country where 2,000 tons of rubble every day is being recycled. Now we are talking about controlling pollution, and where Mumbai, Maharashtra is concerned, you got the biggest infra projects going on. Construction out everywhere, 14 lines of metro being staged. We've got a bullet train out there, and what we are doing is we are taking debris and throwing it wherever we can. We're throwing it in open plots, we're throwing it in, the forest areas, in the wetlands. That's what we are doing. And here you got a winter pollution plan in place, and the most impressive, as I began with, a 2,000-ton rubble, recycling plant, the first of its kind in the whole country. That's what you call a pollution plan, a winter pollution plan. Are we prepared here in Mumbai and Maharashtra for that, Mr. Mascarenhas?
No, absolutely. So there are two ways of looking at it. One is that there is complete lack of intent when it comes to the government in Maharashtra to tackle pollution. I mean, here we have Mumbai, which is right bang on the western coast. We have the Arabian Sea. And actually, you had these natural wind patterns which would basically cleanse the city. And right now, that is not happening. Right now, you actually have an Iqbal Chahal who shamelessly says that the particulate matter pollution in Mumbai is not due to construction activity. Now, this is what happens when you have a builder, Mangal Prabhat Lodha, who itself has some of the largest construction sites in the city. I mean, this is exactly what happens when you have builders in charge of civic governance, that they are essentially pro their own interests, which is basically that of a builder, and they're not pro Mumbaikars. But whereas when it comes to Delhi, we actually shut down a power plant, a thermal power plant in Delhi. I remember this was about 6 years ago. And there was a lot of hue and cry, but we shut that down. When it comes to moving out industries, when it comes to actually providing industries with access to alternate green fuels, we did all of that. And I think the difference is that there is intent. Of course, sadly, the problem with Delhi is that you have a very cursed sort of a geography, and almost 70% of the pollution in Delhi is not because of Delhi itself. So that said, we are doing what we can. What you just mentioned in terms of the recycling plant with regards to the debris is essentially a step in that direction to reduce particulate matter. But the bigger point is that pollution is not, I mean, P may be for pollution, but P is not for politics, especially in pollution. I think what is really surprising is even when we saw during Diwali, we know typically that you essentially have a cycle year after year, but yet you couldn't see a prime minister actually chairing a meeting of all the states in North India, right? Because you had not just Punjab, you also had UP, you also had Haryana, which surrounds Delhi in almost 3 areas. So I think here you have a lot of passing the buck. The Aam Aadmi Party in Delhi is doing what it can when it comes to governance. In Punjab, if you know that there was a proposal put for compensating farmers, which was sadly again stopped by the governor. I mean, this is the biggest issue, that when it comes to BJP states, you actually have the governor function in tandem with the chief minister. And when it comes to an opposition state, you have the governor do all that he can to actually function like a BJP office, right? All governors are functioning as an extension of the BJP headquarters.
And the funny part is, Ruben Saab, Mascarena Saab.
They function as political appointees.
Mascarena Saab, the other thing is, when there were no firecracker sales in Delhi, why did Delhi resemble a war zone during Diwali? Where did the firecrackers come from? They were not sold in Delhi.
So I think multiple things. One is firecrackers, of course. Firecrackers are a problem and people need to celebrate whatever we do in a very responsible way.
Yeah, right.
That said, what was also problematic is hurry.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I mean, I was RKB. I was here in Mumbai. I was celebrating Diwali on my terrace, and quite honestly, after a point in time, there was so much of smoke that we actually had to go back to our house. So I mean, it's a problem which is a collective societal problem. Also, I think it's sad that despite so much of education, you still have the sale of firecrackers hasn't actually reduced. I was just looking at the numbers for all of India's metropolitan states, right? I mean, it remains at an all-time metropolitan cities. It remains at an all-time high, and that's more of a societal problem. What the government can actually do is to create incentives and disincentives. And I think to that extent, we've tried to do that in Delhi. If you remember, a couple of years ago, we had actually created a light show in Delhi where we said that, okay, please come and participate. And, this is a light show which is not happening because of firecrackers. And you can come and see the laser show. And that's our way of celebrating Diwali. So I think we've been doing that. But it's also a larger societal issue. I think we are humble enough to acknowledge the fact that we can't solve everything, but we are at least
Mr.
taking
Mascarenas,
the right steps to create incentives and disincentives.
So, Ruben Saab, let's address the elephant in the room. Is Arvind going to be arrested? Is Arvind Kejriwal
So we've
going
been
to be
given to
arrested?
understand that yes, we were actually told by people that we know who are in the know of things that Arvind Kejriwal is turning out to be too much of a thorn in the flesh of the powers that be, especially the PM-HM duo in India. And clearly, they can't tackle us politically. So now, you saw what they did with Satinder Jain ji. You saw what they did with Sanjay Singh ji. You saw what they are doing with Manish Sisodia ji. My heart actually broke. I know Manish personally. I have seen Manish ji's work right since India Against Corruption. That man is an honest man. That man is the founder of India's education revolution, which we are proud of that we started in Delhi. What's happened in Delhi should happen in every other state. And rather than putting the opposition in jail, we should actually have a competition amongst other states, saying that, hey, my schools are better than your schools. Hey, we've been able to do this better than you. And that is the kind of debate and discussion that this country needs. And what we are seeing is that you just have the opposition being literally thrown into jail. You know how the PMLA works. PMLA section 45 essentially just makes any option of a bail just impossible. And what's happened in the Manish Sisodia issue is a miscarriage of justice. But just to come to your question, we are prepared for any eventuality. Remember, we are a party which came to power from the streets. We are a party which is built on a people's movement. We are not worried about government oppression. We are not worried about it. Is actually sad that even when it comes to a Supreme Court that we've not got relief. But that said, we still believe in the Constitution of India. We still have complete faith in the judiciary. And irrespective of what happens, Arvind ji has gone on record. You have Atishi gone on record and said that if necessary, we will run the government from the jail. right? But this is the extremity that the BJP can stoop to. That they can't manage us politically, which is why they're essentially arresting us. But more than anything else, my simple question to the BJP is: if you're so confident of the fact that we've done corruption, you've not been able to find a shred of evidence, you've not been able to find a single money trail. This is just a systematic abuse of your criminal justice system in our country, sadly, and this will have to end, because clearly you're not even having anything up to a trial stage.
Mr.
BJP
Mascarenhas,
rule has actually reached a trial stage.
your main problem started when Sanjay Singh started talking about Adani. Adani's involvement. आपने हिसाब मांगा 20,000 करोड़ का. आपने हिसाब मांगा कि कोयला जो आ रहा है ये सोल एजेंसी कैसे हो सकता है. आपने आवाज उठाया कि ये 12,000 करोड़ का गेन 32,000 करोड़ कैसे. हिसाब मांगे थे आपने. यहाँ मुंबई में भी आप लोग हिसाब मांग रहे हो कि धारावी का अडानी प्रोजेक्ट अडानी को क्यों गया. बाकी लोग टीडीआर बिल्डर्स जो है टीडीआर अडानी से क्यों खरीदे. Why are you creating a single monopoly? Now is this going to create more problems for you? Are you ready to face it?
No, absolutely. We are willing to face it. And आज अडानी की कंपनी चोरी कर रही है देश के संसाधन, तो हम उसके खिलाफ बोल रहे हैं. कल कोई और कंपनी एबीसी भी अगर कुछ ऐसी हरकतें करे तो हम उनके खिलाफ भी विरोध प्रदर्शन करेंगे. ये हमें कोई व्यक्तिगत किसी अडानी या किसी पूंजीपति से प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. हमें प्रॉब्लम है ये क्रोनी कैपिटलिज्म से. लुक एट द मैनर इन विच your entire country's resources, whether it is coal, whether it is our mines, whether it is our ports, whether it is our airports, you systematically, literally pawned everything out to Mr. Adani. And, Arvind is on record saying that, ye keval, and he said that in the Delhi Legislative Assembly that, what Adani is essentially investing is it's not his money. I'm being told that it is Modi's money himself, and he's just some sort of a fund manager, and he takes whatever he takes. Now, clearly, you have the BJP bending over backwards so that Adani benefits. That's about the national picture. And of course, rightly, Sanjay Singh has essentially time and again exposed the rotten corruption in the Modi government, has exposed how your institutions have been compromised, how the government has literally put everything on a platter for Mr. Adani at essentially the detriment of us as taxpayers, right? And he's now basically paying the price for that. But that said, look at what has happened in Mumbai, right? Here you have Adani itself, which is basically going through all kinds of rough waters or whatever, and then you have the DC rules amended such that every builder constructing north of Bandra would basically have to take TDR from Adani. I mean, what rubbish? I mean, this is systematically, of course, a lot of things are wrong in the real estate sector in Mumbai. Of course, there are lopsided prices, there is a lot of black money, there's a lot of Neta, builder, nexus, all of this is there. But this is even beyond that, right? This is just basically saying that, hey, Mr. Adani has to make profit at all levels, and we will. It is the government's responsibility to ensure that it happens. I'm sorry, the government exists for the people. The people don't exist for the government. Right now, the way in which the BJP is operating, the way in which Mr. Fadnavis especially and the Eknath Shinde government in Maharashtra are operating as though they exist for Adani. And Adani exists for them, and the people just are nowhere in the equation. And I just like to draw your attention, RKB. Yes. There have been no elections in 28 of Maharashtra's municipal corporations. Yes. Let's take Kalyan Dombivli and Aurangabad for that matter, Vasai Virar for that matter. There haven't been elections, Meera Bhayandar for that matter. There haven't been elections in the last 3.5 years.
Just one small thing, by the way.
In Mumbai for 2 years.
Mr. Mascarenhas, a bit of breaking news. Atishi Marlena has just written to the governor. She's appealed to the governor because the Finance Secretary of Delhi, Mr. Ashish Verma, has stopped all funds of the Delhi Jal Board, as a result of which, 'no money has been released for salaries and even routine work. by the Finance Secretary. He doesn't care about the Chief Minister, he does not care about the Water Minister, and his real rock and roll time. I wish you all the best. Ruben Mascarenhas, you guys
No,
did a
but we
wonderful
were.
job.
Thank you so much, RKB. But the people are watching.
Yes.
Okay, we saw this happen when it came to the Supreme Court judgment in our favor. The Modi government refused to even listen to the Supreme Court. Right? It filed a review petition and at the same time brought in an amendment. I mean,
Yes,
come on.
they did.
If you feel that there's a miscarriage of justice, you file a review petition and you say what points of law have been misinterpreted. But here, what we can see is the Modi government systematically trying to incapacitate the Delhi government just because they can't deliver, just because they are unable to give up their corruption. And they can't just stand that a party like the Aam Aadmi Party is actually doing good work for the people. That suddenly BJP का तो दुकान बंद हो गया ना पिछले पहले से तो for the first 15 years you under the Congress government उनकी दुकान बंद हो गई थी. अब तो और 10 साल 25 साल से बीजेपी की दुकान बंद है. So clearly when you can't manage people politically, this is absolute desperation. But irrespective, Arvind Kejriwal ji kabhi give up nahi karenge. I have complete faith in my leader. I know what my leader is made of. I know when even during India against corruption, when we would say कि अरे पुलिस आ रही है, ये आ रही है, वो रही, he would say कि मेरे सर पे मैं कफन बांध के चल चुका हूँ. जिस किसी को मेरे साथ आना है वो उसकी खुद की जिम्मेदारी, उसकी खुद की decision, and none of us essentially said, okay, we will not follow you or whatever. So I think people don't understand. This is the stuff of the Aam Aadmi Party. We've done nothing bad in life. We've done nothing wrong in life. We've lived honest lives. We don't care who is listening to our phone calls or who is basically trying to follow up with any of these agencies. We will stand. We will fight the good fight. But what is sad is that, and again, I think, I just like to through your medium put this across to the rest of India that India just has 30 years for our demographic dividend to turn into a demographic nightmare.
Yes.
If we end up becoming old before we end up becoming rich, we will never be able to pull our millions out of poverty. Kuch nahi hoga. If my generation ends up becoming old without actually generating enough of wealth, generating enough of opportunity, generating enough of employment, that should be the point. That who is going to generate more employment? Which state is basically being able to provide employment? Right now you have jobless growth. The only way that you will have growth with jobs is by promoting enterprise. And this enterprise is not Adani enterprise. This enterprise is not Ambani enterprise. This enterprise is small and medium entrepreneurs, which is totally stressed, which is right now starved of capital. We should be looking, if you want 20 million jobs, you need to create 1 million entrepreneurs. And what we are doing is dangerous. And if we lose another 10 years, then we would reach a point of no return. And that would be really, really sad for all of India, and our generations wouldn't forgive us. Our generations wouldn't forgive us. We can keep our politics aside, but this is national interest. This is the interest of 70% of India, which is below the age of 35, which wants a job, which wants education, which wants a dignified life.
And that, by the way,
see the BJP
the scenario you have painted, the scenario you have painted over here is the very modest one. What we are scared of is we should not become another Darfur. We should not become another East Sudan or another East Eritrea. That should not happen, because we can already see signs of it in Maharashtra, where there is caste versus caste, and there are so many other things happening. But we'll talk about that. I hope it doesn't happen. But for the Aam Aadmi Party and yourself, congratulations. You guys are doing a wonderful job. We're all very, very proud of you. All the very best. Thank you very much, Mr. Mascarenhas. Great pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Right, another moment with us, also to talk about a subject which is somewhat serious. Why do we always have very serious subjects with you? We should have.
The ecology of India, Maharashtra, Mumbai.
And our old friend, Mr. B.N. Kumar.
And whenever we look out of our windows,
BNK.
The Mithi River reminds us the job
Of
has
what?
to be done.
What is the job that still remains to be done?
Yes.
Which has not even begun, so to speak. Mr. B.N.K.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are you, sir? सर हर बार आप बड़ा सीरियस सब्जेक्ट लेकर के आते हो, कभी अच्छा सब्जेक्ट भी लाया करो ना सर। ये क्या है? अब उत्तराखंड में बीएन के साथ 41 वर्कर अंडर ट्रैप्ड हैं अंदर, In fact, I got your message in the morning, and you're absolutely right. All the mainstream corporate channels are just quiet about it. We have been asking the question every day. What is happening? कोई बात ही नहीं कर रहा है यार. सर, आपको याद होगा बीएन के साहब, एक सेकंड, वो कोई बच्चा कुछ गिर गया था कुछ बोरवेल में कहीं पर. अरे सबने मतलब अपनी सारी ओबीज वहां पे भेज दी, पता नहीं क्या कुछ किया. 36 घंटे we were just on that. Here nobody is bothered. Not even a 1-minute story. भीम कुमार साहब बताइए.
सर आपको सबको व्यूअर्स को भी याद रहेगा, प्रिंस नाम का लड़का था
जी, याद है जी, याद है. जुलाई
2006 में वो हरदिलपुर करके गांव में, कुरुक्षेत्र जिला हरियाणा में, वहां पर में
जी, वो
चूहे के पीछे भाग रहा था, अचानक उसमें गिर पड़ा और उसमें 50 घंटे का जो ऑपरेशन चला उनको रेस्क्यू करने के लिए. फॉर्चुनेटली दैट बॉय वाज रेस्क्यूड. ही वेंट डाउन 60 feet इन द बोरवेल. लकीली उसके साथ में लड़का था, उसने आवाज चिल्लाई तो लोगों ने इधर उधर से लोग आके देखा, फिर बचा रहा अंदर था तो आर्मी ने आके उसके बचाया. और मजे की बात है कि 2006 की बात है ये, इट्स नॉट 2014. रिमेंबर दोस इयर्स. सो दैट इज व्हाई देयर वाज दिस मीडिया really focusing on that. But today my fear is, my hunch is, if media goes there to cover, they will have to ask questions, they will have to ask uncomfortable questions. तो एक सवाल तो ऑलरेडी उन्होंने नितिन गडकरी को पूछा था एक मीडिया ने कि आपने इसमें एस्केप टनल नहीं बनाया
जी,
तो वो उसको he had no answer and he was trying to consult somebody from one of the officers from behind. उसमें एस्केप टनल क्यों नहीं बना पाए, वो उसको जवाब नहीं निकला. लेकिन even when this rescue work is going on right now, एक सवाल पूछा गया था, आप लोग ड्रिल करके अंदर क्यों नहीं जा रहे हो? NHA said we can't drill because the moment we drill, more soil will cave in, more rubble will cave in, more क्या नाम है, boulders etc. That will cave in, that will spoil the show, that will hamper the rescue operations. अंदर जी बोलिए.
So why do you think the media is not covering it?
वही ना, मीडिया अगर आएगी सवाल पूछना पड़ेगा. आज के तारीख में कौन सी मेजर मीडिया सवाल कर रहे हैं सर आपके और हमारे सर छोड़कर? Nobody asks questions because there are no answers. There is nobody to answer. Probably there are orders from above ki, or without the order also, sometimes you have this more loyal than the king the attitude.
That's right.
आपने हम लोगों ने इमरजेंसी में एक्सपीरियंस किया था आरकेबी.
But BNK, I don't think the government would be so strongly opposed to anybody covering this. I mean, I'm reasonably certain even the Uttarakhand government would like to show all that they are doing to try and rescue these people. I agree. There may have been a tunnel fault and so on and so on. And by the way, I don't know whether you know this, both Pradeep ji and I have been working on this now since 2009 as to how Uttarakhand, they have been trying to transform it into Urjakhand.
Yes.
And there are tunnels all over the hills. All the hills, by the way, now have tunnels. And those hills can collapse any time. We are looking at an ecological disaster of catastrophic proportions.
Yes.
Just like you mentioned, in fact, in your message also you mentioned कि वो जो हिमाचल प्रदेश में अभी जो बाढ़ आई थी, you have destroyed the entire hill. You have made 5-star hotels. You have made 10-story and 15-story hotels on hills which can hardly support 1 or 2-story houses. So what is going on over here, BNK साहब? Hill development नाम की कोई चीज नहीं है क्या?
Or hill touching the rivers.
Yes.
Rivers are flowing out there.
Yeah.
So there is no such thing as mountain and hill development.
एक्चुअली मैं भी फैमिली के साथ में चारधाम यात्रा में गया था. इन द प्लेस एंड चारधाम वो एक आस्था की बात है कि वहां पर जाएं, वहां पर माथा टेक कर आए, यमुनोत्री, गंगोत्री, केदारनाथ, बद्रीनाथ. लेकिन वो एक कठिनाई उठाकर, कष्ट लेकर जाना एक बात अलग है. नाउ व्हाट द गवर्नमेंट ट्राइंग टू डू इज सैडली, वेरी सैडली ट्राइंग टू कन्वर्ट देम इनटू पिकनिक स्पॉट्स. 1000 किलोमीटर का रास्ता बना रहे हो, वाइड हाईवे, through the tunnels, with the tunnels, through the hills etc. Soil loose है वहाँ पर, गेंदे नाम की चीजें नहीं, सारे पेड़ काट दिए आप लोगों ने, वहाँ पर टनल बना रहे हो, सॉइल लूज है, गिर रहा है, बाढ़ आ रही है, डैम वहाँ पर बहती जा रही है. तो you trying to convert that into picnic spot. I mean that is not the way a religious place should be treated. ठीक है, जिसको जाना है वहाँ जाएगा, लेकिन ये इतना सारा 6 लेन का 4 लेन का हाईवे बनाओ, वहाँ पर गाड़ियाँ भगाओ, 6 घंटे में दिल्ली से वहां पहुंच जाओ. I mean, it is ridiculous. You're downgrading the status, the level of the religious.
In fact, the latest report says that the charcoal content and the carbon content in the Gangotri glacier has gone up to dangerous levels because of the helicopter services.
Yes.
So what are these guys doing? Don't they know that's the origin of the Ganga? You're going to destroy the Ganga at the origin.
Correct.
So
in fact, when we went to Gangotri, we were trying to take a dip there. जैसे हमने डुबकी लगाई, ऊपर ही खड़ा हुआ, पूरा सर के ऊपर मिट्टी मिट्टी थी. There is construction, there is digging, there is sand dredging going on in that area. पूरा का पूरा पानी brown था. It was so horrible. Why have we come here?
At the Gangotri.
And sad. I mean, luckily down towards Haridwar and Rishikesh, particularly Haridwar, it's pretty clean because they have diverted all the shore water from entering the city during the 1990, 86 कुंभ के टाइम पे जो हमने वहां पर जाके कवर करी थी. That time they started the Ganga cleanup operation. So the Haridwar is fairly clean, but otherwise even at the source point, it's bad. It's still.
That is not only Ganga, but all the holy rivers all across the nation. Wherever you talk about holy dip, whether it's river Pamba in Kerala or you're talking about your rivers where you've been in the north, everywhere they don't see the government has failed to keep the pure sanctity of the holy rivers.
Our own Narmada.
Yes, you got the sewage in, you got all kinds of people throwing all kinds of things, waste into the rivers, holy rivers, and see, there has to be a national consensus and a strong leadership to see that the rivers are pure and holy, that they talk about or we find them in the Puranas. Don't you think the government has a big responsibility? B.N. Kumarji.
Government has a terrible responsibility. I mean, quite a bit of responsibility. Other than the government, the responsibility accountability and responsibility should flow down the line. हम जाके COP26 वगैरह में 24 में बड़ी बड़ी बातें करके आते हैं, कार्बन लेवल डाउन करेंगे, ये करेंगे, डिपेंडेंसी ऑन फॉसिल फ्यूल्स कम कर देंगे. यहाँ पर आने के बाद में बोलते हैं कुल प्रोडक्शन बढ़ाओ. और दैट इज वन. नंबर 2, जो भी एनवायरनमेंट का इंचार्ज है, दैट गाय शुड बी मेड अकाउंटेबल. आज की तारीख में समझो आई एम द प्रिंसिपल सेक्रेटरी एनवायरनमेंट. टुमारो आई एम ट्रांसफर्ड टू सिडको एज ए मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर. सो व्हेन आई गो टू सिडको, शुड आई नॉट बी कैरिंग that luggage, that good luggage in fact of the knowledge that I gained as environment officer. But सिडको क्या कर रही है? सिडको is the biggest culprit, biggest contributor to environment destruction in the so-called planned city. So it is Pradeep, it is not only the government's responsibility, like it they've done in Swachhata Abhiyan. The responsibility should flow from top to bottom, not bottom to top. It should be top to bottom flow. Everybody, including the elected representatives, should be made responsible. आज आप कहते हैं इंदौर बहुत clean है, क्यों? Even the corporator of the particular ward in that area he is held responsible. वहाँ कुछ कचरा दिखा, he will be punished, he will be pulled up. So that kind of responsibility sharing should be there in environment. And as I discussed last time, environment should be made an election issue. It should be part of the manifestos. I didn't complete the subject that time. It should be part of the manifesto. We should insist on that.
Implementation. Now we talk about the tunnel collapse. You got the people who have been trapped in the tunnel. Now we have got great infrastructural projects going on around Mumbai, Navi Mumbai, Thane. Mumbai Metro, 14 rails, Navi Mumbai International Airport, Mumbai Trans Harbour Link, Sea Link, Bullet Train, Airoli Katai Tunnel Road, Goregaon Mulund, Coastal Road. Now who is looking after the safety aspects here? Now after this particular incident that has happened, and we are very much worried about the people who are trapped underneath. Now as environmentalists, have you taken up this safety issues where these kind of huge projects going in and around Mumbai, Thane, Navi Mumbai, infra projects? B.N. Kumarji.
Yeah, we have been taking it up at various levels. In fact, I've been in regular touch with the Prime Minister's office, keep writing to him. And whatever I write to him, he religiously on passes them to Ministry of Environment. In fact, as far as the hills is concerned, आपको याद होगा इरशादवाड़ी जो अपना मुंबई के नजदीक, हमारे नई मुंबई के नजदीक खोपोली के पास जहाँ पर लैंडस्लाइड हुई थी during the monsoon, वहाँ पर काफी लोग मर गए थे. Almost entire village got washed away. But for 23 families out of 90 families, more than 50-60 families have been washed away. तो उस टाइम ही हमने एक सजेशन करी दी थी प्राइम मिनिस्टर को कि देयर इज नो हिल डेवलपमेंट रेगुलेटरी अथॉरिटी. आपका कोस्टल मैनेजमेंट कोस्टल जोन के लिए देयर इज एमसी CZMS कोस्टल जोन मैनेजमेंट अथॉरिटी एट एवरी स्टेट लेवल. एज फार हिल्स आर कंसर्न, उसका माँ बाप कोई नहीं है. कोई भी जाके हिल पे कोई भी कुछ भी कर सकता है. वंस इन अ व्हाइल एनवायरनमेंट कम्स इन. अगर झाड़ वगैरह होगा, पेड़ वगैरह होगा, तो आपका फॉरेस्ट डिपार्टमेंट आगे बोलते हैं यहाँ पर पेड़ है, पेड़ मत काटो. मैं पेड़ छोड़ के बाजू में ये करता हूँ, या तो फॉरेस्ट वाले को खिला पिला के अपना काम कर लेता हूँ. इसीलिए देयर इज अ रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ व्हाट यू कॉल रेगुलेटरी अथॉरिटी. सो दैट सजेशन वाज फॉरवर्डेड टू द मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एनवायरनमेंट. अभी मैंने एक आरटीआई पिटीशन डाल के फॉलो अप किया था उसके ऊपर कि आप लोगों ने क्या किया, डू यू हैव अ एनवायरनमेंट रेगुलेटरी, आई मीन हिल डेवलपमेंट रेगुलेटरी अथॉरिटी और हिल डेवलपमेंट रेगुलेटरी मैकेनिज्म. Unfortunately, reply आया था as expected. They don't have any such mission.
They don't have. There is none.
That is very sad part.
And by the way, I remember this. BNK, I don't know whether you would remember this. No, hang on a minute. You remember this because you talked about the 1986 floods. Rajiv Gandhi was the Prime Minister. And Rajiv Gandhi, if I remember correctly, was at that time in what was called Uttaranchal, now of course it is Uttarakhand. He had said, he himself had said, I still remember that speech, कि जो प्लेन्स की डेवलपमेंट है वही ला करके हम लोग हिल्स के ऊपर डाल देते हैं. हिल की डेवलपमेंट बिल्कुल अलग होनी चाहिए. एंड ही हिमसेल्फ हैड सजेस्टेड दैट वे बैक इन 1986-87. बट वेरी अनफॉर्चुनेटली, एंड आई mean I'm talking about at that particular time. I mean, it's almost what, 36 years ago.
Yeah.
And nothing has happened. Nothing has happened so far. Every disaster, we wake up, we say, hey, we must do something, and as soon as the disaster is over, we go back to whatever it is we were doing. BNK sir.
आप देखें केरला, we are such a huge disaster.
Yes, we did.
लेकिन बोल रहे थे केरला के बाद में it can be any other place. बाद में कर्नाटक में कूर्ग में हुआ. अभी now गोवा is sitting on a bomb. अपना रत्नागिरी क्या नाम है, कोंकण में तो होते रहते इस टाइप की ट्रेजेडीज. Entire Konkan stretch is full of this because of mining, unplanned development, uncontrolled, unchecked quarrying. With the quarry क्या होता है, आप समझो एक हिल के एक पार्से हिल के ऊपर आप क्वारी करोगे, आजू बाजू के एरिया भी पूरा लूज हो जाता है ना, because of the blasting.
That's right. Correct.
That these people, our friends, don't realize. Or even if they realize, probably they keep quiet. अभी ये hills के ऊपर this kind of a tunnel that they made, it wouldn't have happened because of the blasting. वो ब्लास्टिंग की वजह से सारा के सारा सॉइल लूज हो गया. एक अभी कल को अगर ज्यादा बारिश होगी वो पहाड़ बह जाएगा सर जी नीचे से.
That's what an expert from the US has warned, by the way. An expert from the US has warned that might happen, that there might be an avalanche in and around the tunnel.
Yes.
That if you indulge in major digging over there, that might destroy the entire thing.
So now what we are planning is, what we are planning now is probably next week, within a week or so, I'm talking to my lawyers. We'll be moving the NGT, to impress upon the government to set up a hill development regulatory authority. Because even if you go to court will say, "आप existing mechanism पहले खत्म करो, फिर हमारे पास आ जाओ." So इसलिए to save time, to save even the court's time, we'll go to NGT first, and my lawyers are working on it.
Right.
Probably next week we will work on it. And now that the Environment Ministry has confirmed to me in writing that they don't have the mechanism that puts them in a strong legal position to argue it out for such a mechanism. So let us see how it goes.
But what Pradeep ji mentioned just now with regard to Pamba River and Kerala, you also mentioned Kerala just now. Now, if you remember, this was during Mrs. Indira Gandhi's time, where Mrs. Indira Gandhi was absolutely against any sort of development in the Silent Valley, if you remember, in Kerala. And then after that, they were able to pass legislation. I think this happened after Rajiv Gandhi, during Narasimha Rao's government. They were actually able to pass legislation where you could actually build in and around the Silent Valley. And you know the disaster which took place after that. To your knowledge, has anything been done after the massive floods which took place in Kerala? That such a thing should not happen again? BNK sir?
Unlikely, because we don't wake up unless in fact we have a case of violation of CRZ rules in Kochi, the Supreme Court had to come down very heavily and demolish 2-3 buildings there. Though the investors, people like you and me who bought flats there, they lost heavily. But the compensation that was paid to them was minuscule as compared to the investment that they made. But from the government point of view, the politicians are busy fighting politics. आज खत्म हो गया, कल इलेक्शन होगा. इनफैक्ट आज के तारीख में इंडिया आप देखोगे, एक जमाने में इंडिया यूज्ड टू बी कॉल्ड द कंट्री ऑफ फेस्टिवल्स. आज के तारीख में वी आर अ नेशन ऑफ इलेक्शंस. हर महीना, हर वर्ष में
दैट्स आवर फेस्टिवल.
कहीं ना कहीं इलेक्शन, कुछ ना कुछ इलेक्शन होते रहता है. एंड ऑल पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज, वेदर इट इज बीजेपी, कांग्रेस और एनीबॉडी एल्स, दे हैव टेकन इट अप एज अ मेजर इश्यू. अभी आपको देखिए ना, म्युनिसिपल इलेक्शंस हो रहे थे राजस्थान में, यूपी में. Prime Minister goes there and campaigns.
And the Prime Minister is always also talking about one nation, one election. I think that is a better thing.
Yeah, one nation, one election.
It'll save.
In fact, people were saying, one planet. We have one planet, one life. I'm saying one planet, one life. No, they didn't say one life. They said one planet. So I said one planet, one city, and one life.
So, you know, the hills of Thane, your hills, are full of construction. Full of construction. We are talking about, hills occupied in Uttarakhand and elsewhere. Mumbai, all the hills, you call Ghatkopar, is filled with houses, and the BMC has spent another 1,000 crores on creating roads, creating toilets, creating safety walls. Your hills in Thane also full of construction. Now the government seems to have a deaf ear to environmentalists pointing out the hazards that come along with it. We have not been able to do much. Mumbai, Thane, Navi Mumbai, the hills, nothing has been done, and the growth of population is increasing continuously there, which was just small houses have become ground +2 in most of those places. Population increase in the hillsides. Now, how are we going to tackle this problem? Mumbai, Thane, Navi Mumbai. Illegal settlements of the hills.
यही ना कि the person, the administrator there, he should be held accountable and responsible for it. It is collector's area. The hills are supposed to be collector's areas, revenue area. The collector, if suppose there is a quarrying taking place, collector gets what you call a royalty out of it. So administratively, he controls them. So it is his responsibility to make sure that these kind of things do not take place. Unfortunately, under political pressure, everything is ignored. आपको याद होगा येवूर हिल्स में जब कंस्ट्रक्शन चल रहा था, I think it was Chandrasekhar who was collector at that time. He tried to stop it, and within 2.5 years he was transferred. And the local people, the auto rickshaw people, they held morcha. They conducted morchas asking for reinstating their collector. Bal Thackeray intervened and reinstated him. But after that, what happened? After nothing is happening. It is not only the question of hills of Thane. आप येवूर हिल्स का इस साइड टुवर्ड्स मुंबई साइड मुलुंड हो गया, घाटकोपर, ये साइड भी देखिए, और नवी मुंबई का भी देखिए. हिल्स आर अंडर अटैक. अभी सिरको, I think we discussed this last time, they are planning a huge township on the Kharghar hills on the plateau. Disastrous.
Official.
That's it then. So what are you looking at? BNK, what are you looking at?
एक जोक सुनिएगा, एक प्रैक्टिकल जोक है ये. BNHS, Bombay Natural History Society, has worked out a plan for a ecological park on the biodiversity park on the hills. Or Sirco, while advertising for the township on Kharghar, says it is in walking distance from the biodiversity park. I mean,
wow.
How can you have a township touching the? It beats common sense. सर पटकने को दिल होता है इनके ऊपर.
No, what I'm trying to say is that at the end of the day, people have to realize what we are working towards. अब ये 2009 की बात है साहब, जब हम लोगों ने यहाँ पे कहा था कि उत्तराखंड को जो आप ऊर्जा खंड बनाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, you are trying to create more and more power over there, and you will generate power through, funneling the water of the Ganga through all these tunnels and all that. It is going to be an ecological disaster for Uttarakhand, and that's exactly what has happened. It's right there in front of you. when we talked about how Gangotri will one day be so polluted that the Ganga itself will die. I am saying so again. What we are doing over there on the Gangotri and on the course of the river, of the holiest river of India, we are killing the river. We are killing our mother. We call the Ganga mother. We are killing her. अपनी माँ को मार रहे हैं हम लोग. सीधी सादी बात है. आपने बड़ी कोशिश करी है, साफ किया है, साफ सफाई करी है, न जाने क्या कुछ किया है, लेकिन जैसे आपने कहा बीएन के साहब, साफ सफाई सोर्स से होती है, बीच में नहीं होती है. You have to start from the source of the river, just like what they are doing over here to the मिठी रिवर. यहाँ पर मिठी रिवर में बीच में आप ड्रेजिंग कर देते हैं. अरे जहां से वो रिवर आ रहा है, जहां पर इतने ज्यादा ऑयल मिक्सिंग के पता नहीं क्या क्या है सारी, और अनट्रीटेड सुवेज हर उसके अंदर घुस रही है मिठी रिवर के अंदर. What can you do? So these guys don't realize what they are doing or what? We know the answer to that. I mean, or do they see an opportunity in every disaster that they create? BN ke saab.
To me, that seems to be the attitude कि ठीक है जो होता है देखा जाएगा. अभी आप देखिए ना, I'll give you another small example. We are constructing this Navi Mumbai airport, which Pradeep mentioned. Huge infrastructure project coming up.
Yes.
Infrastructure होना चाहिए airport की. We require a alternative airport for Mumbai. Mumbai is bossing it seems. जरूरी है. लेकिन करते करते आपको एनवायरनमेंट के ऊपर भी ध्यान देनी चाहिए. सो टू ऑब्टेन एनवायरनमेंट क्लियरेंस हम लोगों ने एक एयरपोर्ट वालों ने के एनवायरनमेंट इंपैक्ट असेसमेंट करवाई, सेकंड असेसमेंट. उसमें दे क्लियरली मेंशन कि देयर आर द वेटलैंड्स व्हिच आर अराउंड दिस एयरपोर्ट एरिया, दे हैव टू बी मेंटेन्ड एज पर BNHS बिकॉज द बर्ड्स व्हिच कम दे लैंड देयर, दे टेक रेस्ट, एंड दिस 5 वेटलैंड्स आर सपोज्ड टू बी द सैटेलाइट वेटलैंड्स ऑफ द रामसर प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ क्या नाम है आपका ठाणे क्रीक फ्लेमिंगो सेंचुरी का ये सैटेलाइट वेटलैंड्स है. यहाँ पर 15 सेंटीमीटर से ऊपर से पानी चला जाता है. दिस बर्ड्स गो ऑन रेस्ट देयर. अगर ये वेटलैंड आप खत्म कर दोगे, बर्ड्स विल गो ऑन स्ट्रेट अवे लैंड एट द एयरपोर्ट एरिया बिकॉज़ देयर इज स्लाइटली हाई ग्राउंड. थोड़ा दलदली एरिया है, थोड़ा हाई ग्राउंड है, समुद्र को पानी को लग के है वो एरिया. वहां पर लैंड करेंगी, बर्ड्स वहां पर हजारों की संख्या में आएंगी, तो फ्लाइट को टकराने का डर है. इसीलिए आपको जो बर्ड का डेस्टिनेशन है उसको मेंटेन करो, एयरपोर्ट भी रखो. फाइन. एनवायरनमेंट रिपोर्ट में नवी मुंबई एयरपोर्ट, नवी मुंबई इंटरनेशनल एयरपोर्ट लिमिटेड राइट्स वेरी क्लियरली these 5 wetlands will be maintained, and the golf course that is planned on the wetlands of NRI and TH Chanakya is being dropped and not being pursued. That is the commitment that they made to get the environment clearance certificate. In reality, CIRCO is working totally against that. They are going ahead with the golf course project. Luckily, it's pending in the court now, but they got the CRZ clearance for it, and MCZMA gave the certificate without checking the ground reality, whether it's a wetland or not. CIRCO ने certificate दे दिया, आपने बना दे बोल दिया हटी के wetland नहीं है, and CIRCO is not the authority as we discussed last time. Center has very clearly mentioned. So these are the kind of.
So will the same thing happen? Will the same thing happen to the Balaji Tirupati temple, which is now coming up in your area?
That's the biggest threat now. Now, of course, we are fighting it out in the NGT now. Let's see how probably we should be having a hearing very soon. So उसमें एक नया information ऐसे ही निकला पोस्ते. There is a report by JICA. JICA is the financing agency, Japanese international agency है जो they are financing this project. So उनका impact report, environment impact assessment report में clearly लिखा गया है कि this casting yard area on which the Balaji temple is going to coming up is a 7-year lease given to for the casting yard purpose. That means after casting yard is over, that ought to have been restored. वो करने के बजाय सिर्फ उसके अंदर लैंड अलॉट किया, और अभी CZMP कोस्टल जोन मैनेजमेंट प्लान का जो मैप आया है उसमें इट इज ऑफ नथिंग न्यू इन इट. इट इज देयर पार्ट ऑफ द CRZ 2019. उन्होंने 100 मीटर एरिया से 50 मीटर कम कर दिया फ्रॉम द हाई टाइड एरिया. दैट मीन द लिमिट फॉर कंस्ट्रक्शन has been reduced from 100 meters to 50 meters. So obviously now we can build it, but that's not valid because the old assessment report that commissioned by TTD and CIRCO itself very clearly says more than one third part of it comes in CRZ 1 and something else in CRZ 2. Just about 25% is a buildable area. उसमें तो कंस्ट्रक्शन हो ही नहीं सकती है. तो आशा हम ये रखेंगे NGT से कि NGT will intervene and hear us out very clearly, and we'll argue it out, reason it out, to say that this is ecologically sensitive area. हमें बालाजी मंदिर से कोई आपत्ति नहीं है, कहीं भी बनाए इसे, नेमियों में जगह की कमी नहीं है, सिर्को के allot land anywhere, but away from the ecologically sensitive area.
Right, thank you so much, BNK. Great pleasure talking to you, even though what you have to say is not pleasurable at all. So, but thank you very much. And all the very best to you and more strength to you. And we are always with you. At least our channel is completely with you. Namaskar, Vande Mataram.
We shall keep updating as and when things develop.
Please, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Well, that's just about it as far as the country is concerned and as far as Mumbai is concerned. We, I think, are facing a catastrophe.
Yes, the ecology, it reminds you how critical it is. As I said, when you just look out of our window in BKC and the Mithi river, which is supposed to be a river, is there. It is not a river. It is something you can say a dark, non-flowing,
it's a sewer.
Static, stable fluid out there.
It's a sewer. It's not a river anymore. We've turned a beautiful river into a sewer. The idea was to turn the sewer into a river. We've turned it into more of a sewer, carrying more poisonous, toxic stuff than anything else. It's just a dumping ground, that's all. And I still haven't recovered. As you can see, this
Everybody's coughing. In fact, every participant in this debate were coughing.
Everybody.
Right from B.N. Kumar to Rakesh Shetty to many
just
of
about
them.
everybody.
Yes.
Only Mr. Ali Daruwala was from Pune, so I think Pune air is possibly better. Right, do keep sending your responses to the channel. Channel को subscribe करें, like करें, share करें अगर आपका दिल करे तो, और subscribe ज़रूर करें. It'll help us, and I'm being very blatant about it. अगर आपको channel अच्छा लगता है तो channel की मदद करें, subscribe करें channel को. That's all that you have to do. And we do have some responses that have come. कुछ comments आए हैं. Let's take a look. Please do keep sending in your comments. But don't send in stuff which is obscene.
Though as you see, you always believe in the freedom of speech.
Yes, I am. देखें?
In letter and spirit, guaranteed by the Constitution.
This is for the World Cup. The who knows who. Justice for Sushant Singh Rajput, Dayavati 6614. Right. There is somebody's talking about Sushant Singh Rajput still. And this is, मैं डिप्रेस नहीं हुआ क्योंकि मुझे पता था आएगा और हम हार जाएंगे. Right. That is Rajesh Prasad 4276. Obviously a congressman. जी. आगे चलिए. All right, just two. Okay. Well, do keep sending in your comments, and we'll try and read out as many as possible. For that's just about it for tonight's show. आज के शो में सिर्फ इतना ही. प्रदीप जी और मेरी तरफ से आप सब लोगों को नमस्कार. जय हिंद, जय महाराष्ट्र, जय भवानी, जय शिवाजी. वंदे मातरम.
Vande Mataram.